With just 3 wins in their last 8 games and having fallen out of the CHL's top 10, the Calgary Hitmen look to bump their New Year's slump by taking it out on the Moose Jaw Warriors, a task easier said than done. The boys from the Jaw are quickly moving up the Eastern Conference standings thanks to going 8-0-1-1 in their last 10 games. Saddle up, the Warriors and Hitmen are next.
There's Dallas Earhart getting set to make his WHL or Moose Jaw Warriors debut. Of course, he was traded for the Travis Hamonic deal, and that is Brandon Kozun, the second leading scorer in the WHL. Tops in assists with 48, always tough to shut down. Good evening and welcome to the WHL on Shaw. My name is Dan Elliott, and we'll start things off with the Sobeys pregame show for the 4th and final meeting of the season between the Calgary Hitmen and Moose Jaw Warriors. Last year, Moose Jaw managed only 19 wins and finished dead last in the entire league. As a result, GM Chad Lang was shown the door. Unfortunately, he would not be around to see all his smart and savvy moves pay off. He deserves a lot of the credit for building the Warriors' current team, dealing for the likes of leading goal scorer Brendan Rowinski, Thomas Frazee, Dylan Hood, and goaltender Jeff Bosch, not to mention acquiring the first overall pick in the 2007 Bantam draft from Portland, a pick used to select Quentin Howden. The Warriors have turned into an Eastern Conference threat and the type of team nobody wants to face in the postseason. On the flip side, yes, the Calgary Hitmen have had their struggles as of late, but if the game is close heading into the final period, bet heavily on the kids from the Cowtown, Calgary. It's 15-4, 1-1 this season in 1-goal games, and Brandon Kozun is usually the guy to get it done. He leads the league with 8 game-winning goals. With more on tonight's tilt from Calgary, let's now join Dan Russell and Bill Wilms at the Pengrove Saddledome.
Thanks very much, Dan. Welcome inside the Saddledome, the home of the Calgary Hitmen. The Hitmen in a mid-season funk. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They haven't won 2 in a row since the middle of December, and slow starts have been one of their problems.
Yeah, their last 5 games, they've been outscored 10-3 in the first period, Dan. And really, there are 3 challenges presented defensively in your own zone. One is you got to challenge the puck. That can't go in the net that easy. You want to challenge the pass. Take this pass away. It can't be completed that easy. And the third challenge is space available for the opposition. Watch what the opposition in black get. They get behind the defense. You add Martin Jones' lack of concentration on a puck at his feet, and you simply got what's called soft play in your own zone. And that is always a recipe for disaster.
Well, certainly there's high hopes for Calgary, and why not after the trade they made with Kamloops, and Jimmy Bubnik particularly was playing well before he got here.
Boy, I think he was playing his best hockey of the season under new coach Guy Charon. No doubt he's got a great shot, a great release in traffic.
And Tyler Shattuck, all 3 of these players, by the way, are combined -10, but Shattuck, 22 goals this year.
He may not have scored yet in the Hitman uniform, but the 6'3", 190-pounder has sure introduced himself physically to this conference. He was drafted by St. Louis as a scoring winger. Dan, that's going to come. That music, that scoring music's still in there. He'll get it out. He might break out tonight.
And during warm-ups, Brendan Parker spoke with Tyler Shattuck.
Tyler, how important do you feel is it to get that first goal as a Hitman?
I think it'll be a bit of a monkey off the back, I guess you could say, but I think I'm more worried about winning hockey games, and down the stretch here, I think we got a pretty good chance at doing good things in the playoffs, so I think it's more important to get the wins down the stretch here.
Is it tough to find chemistry with new line mates?
I think it is for a bit, for the first couple weeks. I think just getting used to what other people like to do on the ice and stuff like that, but I think other than that, I think it's coming right now, so hopefully it continues to go that way.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Moose Jaw Warriors, easily one of the hottest teams in the WHL. They haven't lost a game since mid-December, and they're zooming up the standings.
When you take a look at the standings, those 15 losses by the Moose Jaw Warriors, 25 wins. They had 50 losses last year. That's how much this team has improved.
I mean, a home playoff date in the first round, not out of the question. Husky high-octane players to watch tonight from Moose Jaw.
Quentin Howden, he wears number 21 at 6'3". He's an effortless skater. He's got 20 goals already. He's pretty much the total package. And I think one of the big keys for Howden, he's playing in arguably the toughest division in the Western Hockey League. So that's great for his development.
Dylan McElrath also at the top prospects game.
Dan, he plays exactly like you'd hope a 6'5", 17-year-old defensive prospect would play. He's got a 90-mile-an-hour shot. Plus 22 is best of any 17-year-old in the league. 125 penalty minutes, and he just never looks out of place in his own zone. And when you watch him with Kendall McFall, number 2 and number 8, I think they're the best 17-year-old defensive pairing in the league.
Wow. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing him tonight on Shaw, and let's hear from him now with Brendan Parker.
Dylan, what do you take away from the top prospects game?
No, it's a great experience. There's lots of talented guys, you know, playing against Taylor Hall. Guys like that, Tyler Seguin playing with them, you could just try to take everything that you can from the game. It was nice.
With Hamonic leaving this team, how has your role changed?
You know, I got to step up since he was a key part of our decor, and but I can't change my game. I just got to be physical, play my role, and not do anything too crazy. Just keep it simple.
Thanks for this.
No problem.
And now your Waste Management starting goalkeepers. Martin Jones about to make his 8th straight start since the World Juniors. And Jeff Bosch, 19-year-old with 4 shutouts this year, getting the start for Moose Jaw. Dan Elliott, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Now, despite all their success this season, the Warriors have seen their share of struggles on the road. Ranked 8th worst on the road, their record sits at 1 game below 500. All right, that will do it for the Sobeys pregame show, but stick around. The opening face-off between Moose Jaw and Calgary is coming up next, only on the WHL on Shaw.
Last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
Independent Jewelers, Edmonton's only 32,000 square foot full-service jewelry store and watch center, located at 170th Street and 112th Avenue, and online at independentjewelers.net.
The EricHolmes.com real estate team is a proud sponsor of community television. Visit us at EricHolmes.com.
Some quick roster notes before we drop the puck. For the Calgary Hitmen, Chris Foucault is sick, a little last-minute addition, a scratch from the lineup. He is ill, but they do get sniper Joel Broda back in the lineup. He's missed the last 3 games with an injury he sustained in Saskatoon. For the Moose Jaw Warriors, scoring has been fairly consistent this year, and head coach Dave Hunchak uses the word balance, saying that he can roll all 3 lines, and he's also not afraid to switch things up if it's not working well. Something to watch for here tonight as we go upstairs to Dan and Bill. Guys.
Thank you, Brendan. Here again, your starting goaltenders. The last 4 games for Jeff Bosch, he has 2 shutouts, but the 2 other games, he's allowed 14 goals a game. So it's been feast or famine for Bosch in the last 4. Martin Jones, the other goaltender, 7 straight starts. Now this is his 8th, and we're underway here in Calgary. Ryan Thompson and Nathan Wheeler are the referees. Calgary's in white. Moose Jaw in the dark uniforms, and the Hitmen bring the puck in over the blue line. There's Stone throwing it at goalkeeper Bosch, and the first whistle comes 17 seconds in. As you look at Martin Jones starting, the LA Kings signed player, 18 wins, 9 losses, back from the World Juniors.
Yeah, he's 3 wins, 4 losses since back from the World Junior. .866 save percentage. Sure, he'd like to get that up a little bit versus Moose Jaw. He's 1-0. He was in net for that 2-1 overtime win in Moose Jaw, where Michael Stone scored the overtime winner.
Jimmy Bubnik out there for Calgary. He wears jersey number 14. That's him with the puck and a chance to open the scoring there, and he got a wrist shot that was fairly easy for Bosch to handle, considering the scoring spot that he was in.
Well, the thing again for Bubnik is this is what he does well. If he can get it away from the wall and get it to that high slot area, he does have a great release. I talked about that earlier. Can really snap it for Kamloops. He had 17 goals. Don't forget, this guy can put it in. He had over 25 last year.
2 shots on goal in the first 25 seconds for Calgary as Moose Jaw. Dylan Hood sends it in deep. Chasing after there is Brendan Rowinski, the former Calgary Hitman, who's really found a home in Moose Jaw. Puck flipped to the line and out. And there's a solid check by Shattuck. Shattuck hitting Hood. Hood back up. Moose Jaw sends the puck back into Calgary territory. And they're able to keep the puck in there. Another check on Hood, but Hood withstands that one, as checking him was Nyren. Now Fiddler comes up with a loose puck for the Hitmen. Controlled by McElrath. Cross ice to McFall, and he sends it in deep, and both teams make a change. 1:10 into this period. Nyren trying to come out of his own zone. McElrath in control now for Moose Jaw. He gets the puck up for Frazee. No further than the neutral zone. Another chance for the Warriors to send it in. They don't. So the Hitmen take advantage, and they send it in with Dale Cowan putting it in. Warriors getting the puck out through this side, but can they get it out? Not this time. Sylvester down to Broda. Broda back in the lineup after missing games with a concussion. Broda, quick shot. That goes off the target. Broda with 21 goals this year. 53 last year. And Broda loves to play against Moose Jaw, his first team in the Western Hockey League. There's Dallas Earhart on the backboards for Moose Jaw. There's a centering pass, and a shot by McKenzie is stopped. Bosch comes out nicely to make a good save off Matt McKenzie. McKenzie holds the puck in. And again, it's held in as Fiddler just dumps it to this corner. Pressure here by the Hitmen. It came off the corner boards right in front of the net. Trying to get a stick on it there was Cody Beach, and goalkeeper Bosch makes another save.
This is just a good job on the forecheck by Sylvester. Watch him go in and maintain position, turn around, fight for the puck, then throw it to the high slot area. You got a couple of good things. You got an aggressive forecheck, and you've got a forward that's deep in the slot area to take that pass exactly where you want that position to be.
Hitmen coming off a win at home on Wednesday against Lethbridge. Back deep in the Calgary zone on the forecheck there for Moose Jaw is Danny Gale. He's tried to get it in front, could not. Mackenzie Royer out of his own zone, up for Rigby Burgart. Warriors in transition, get the puck in, giving chase is Gale. Gale withstands a check, stays on his feet. Now has the puck right in the scoring area in the crease. And an opportunity there for Gale as it just popped right in, and he found himself in the blue shaded crease, and Jones had to be alert. So Moose Jaw has a scoring chance and their first shot on goal, just past the 3-minute mark. Pass here collected by Kozin as he brings it in. Shot off the target and out of play.
Well, the Hitmen are 4-6, Dan, in their last 10 games played, and we've analyzed their poor starts to this last 5 games, but it's pretty easy to know where to pinpoint where it's really happening. In each one of the 6 losses, the opposing goaltender has been the #1 star. Now, the Hitmen as a group of forwards are as good as any in the Western Hockey League right now. They cannot let Jeff Bosch, the goaltender for the Warriors, steal the show here tonight.
There's a nice little move in the neutral zone by Pasenko. He tries to get the pass returned to him. Off his stick, Kozin. Clever pass to the line. It stayed in. McKenzie shot, and there's another save by Bosch. That puck just barely staying in, and Bosch having to make a save.
Kozin knows so well as an offensive player that you don't have to direct everything to the net. How about in traffic, throwing it back to the point? And what the Calgary Hitmen defense are able to do is go point to point and get the shot through, and Bosch with a save.
Bubnik in to take the face off for the Hitmen, and he wins it back to Stone. Stone's long shot, another one for Bosch. That's 5 now he's at the face here in the first 3.5 minutes.
Well, prior to the last game, Jeff Bosch started 9 in a row. 6 of those 9 games, he was one of the 3 stars. 6 of them, 4 he was voted the #1 star. So, boy, is this Warrior team getting nice goaltending from Jeff Bosch.
And his last start was a shutout against Prince Albert, where he made 41 saves, a 1-0 victory. Dallas Earhart, a little bit of room from back of the net. We'll start out on this side, being checked in now by Fiddler. So he goes the other way, and it tips down the ice. Back to chase it, Zach Stebner. Stebner being forced off the puck. Nice play by Moose Jaw as they surrounded Stebner, and the shot from the sharp angle is stopped by Jones. That shot was taken by Honasek. Now another opportunity there for Rowinski. Another chance at the side of the net, and Jones makes the save. So Moose Jaw trying to capitalize on what was started with a good forecheck there. Now the puck goes down the ice for an icing on the Warriors.
What the Warriors do here is they get two chances. You always want to follow up a good play with another good play. You never want it to be one and out. That's just a great battle level in that spot. The shot, the save, and again, you get that little check, that little sneaky little one at the side that Martin Jones has to be good on. Hey, Martin Jones is 6'4". A big goaltender is of no use today unless you can go side to side. That's how much the puck moves around a goaltender's feet in today's game, and he does a very good job of that.
He has 2 shutouts this year. Bosch has 4, so we've got 2 goalies who have had to combine 6. In over the line. Opportunity for Moose Jaws. It was thrown in front by Paradis. Chases after it in the corner. There's Cody Smuck off the boards. Couldn't get a shot away. Warriors look good when they get down there on the forecheck. This time Broda takes the pass nicely out of his own zone. Here he comes. Broda's pass in front of the net for Cowan, but he couldn't get it. Cowan had 2 goals in the last Calgary game here against Lethbridge. Opportunity for Moose Jaw. Smuck, he goes to the corner, but he was slashed a bit. There's going to be a Calgary penalty. I believe it'll be a slash as they touch the puck. Let's see what the signal is here. No, it's a high stick, and Moose Jaw will get the first power play.
You like the way the Warriors answer back. They've come up the ice as a unit. They've got out of their end. It's been a difficult time sometimes. They've used a simple play to come up the ice. And when they attack as a unit, they're able to get these passes going side to side. And sometimes you get a little bit excited. Joel Broda takes a high sticking penalty, and we'll see this Warrior power play go to work.
And it's a good power play. It's 3rd best in the Western Hockey League, operating at 27.3. So this is a good power play that the Warriors have. One of the reasons that they've been winning a lot of games has been the work on the power play. Broda gets the high sticking penalty, and all the way back to his own zone is Ryan Stanton, one of their 20-year-olds coming out from St. Albert. Here in Alberta, Stanton's pass pops over the stick of Bass, so that creates an icing on the Warriors while on the power play.
Ryan Stanton, a 20-year-old, as you say, from St. Albert, has been out since before Christmas with mono. Hasn't played since December 19th at Brandon, and he still leads this Warrior team in scoring as a defenseman. He's key to any power play that the Warriors want to throw out on the ice.
Do you think in the entire history of the Western Hockey League there's been one year where one player didn't have mono? It seems like every year somebody gets mono.
It's a flavor of the year, isn't it? Somebody does, you're right. And in his case, they weren't sure exactly what.
Oh, there's a turnover and a shot on goal, and a rebound is stopped by Jones. What a bad turnover there, as Calgary just dumped it right in front of their net. And I think it was McKenzie that did. Wow, almost 1-0 on that play.
But again, it's the result of a good forecheck. You get Moose Jaw Warriors jumping in. That's what we were talking about with Quentin Howden. Gets it to Stone, and how quickly it gets to the front of the net. Now, I like the attack. That puck is just absolutely handed to the high slot by Michael Stone. Boy, you just can't do that. And look at his expression on his face. He knows it. Just thankful that his goaltender was there to back him up.
Well, you would expect that maybe from a young defenseman, but not Michael Stone at this stage of his career. 3rd-round draft pick with Phoenix. But it shows all players, all ages, can make a mistake. It's a game of mistakes. Jones bailed out Stone on that one, and the game remains scoreless. Each team with 5 shots on goal now. Still 45 seconds to go on the power play as Moose Jaw tries to gain the line. Now the puck is shot out of play.
One of the differences, and big differences, in the Hitmen team this year is Coach Williamson says Jones is going to have to make up for a lot of mistakes a younger Calgary defense makes. And you saw the one that Michael Stone made. Hey, in a nutshell, Dan, last year the top 4 Calgary Hitmen defense were plus 162. This year, combined top 4 are -5. And that really is a big difference in this team. And it's nice to have a goalie like Jones there to bail you out.
Calgary winning that face-off. So still half-minute remaining in the power play. And here come the Warriors. Rowinski, who has 10 power play goals of the 26 that he scored this year, gets the puck back at the net. However, Calgary's Ben Wilson on it. Hitmen roll around the boards, and they are able to tap it out. And that should do it for the power play. And really, their only chance was when Stone coughed up the puck in front of his own net. Hitmen back at full strength, still scoreless. Here's Hood for Moose Jaw, throws it towards the net, tips off the target. Another one thrown in front of the net, and that shot wide. That was a pretty good opportunity there. Cornelson putting it wide of the net. Brandon Kozin fighting for some space, and once he gets space, we always like to watch him go. Look at him. Here goes Kozin again. Hard pass, great pass, and shot just wide. That's a synopsis of what Brandon Kozin's all about. Once he gets that room and he winds up, and then his vision on the ice, wow. Only thing that didn't go wrong there is Schultz didn't finish it. It remains scoreless.
Yeah, great rush and a great feed. He knew exactly where Schultz was going to be.
Cody Smuck in the corner. Hit by Stone, but Smuck stays up and makes a nice pass off the boards to the line. McElrath trying to collect it over here. As he shot it down there, it was gloved down by Zach Stebner, and he's able to knock it out. McElrath can't glove it down. Burgard giving chase. McFall in on it. Oh, Burgard had him lined up, and there's going to be a penalty on Burgard. They'll probably call that, well, we'll wait for it. They'll call it a hit from behind. You can see it developing up here, and Calgary be shorthanded once again.
One of the reasons that Brandon Kozin is going to play in the National Hockey League one day is because he figures it out. It takes him a little time. And you saw at the World Junior, it took him a little time to figure it out. There's the hit, the Burgard hit in the offensive zone. But Brandon Kozin gets it. He knows what it takes to play at the next level. And it was late at the World Junior when I think Kozin ended up being maybe the best Canada forward. The only thing Kozin has never figured out is how to get in the back row of those class pictures at 5'9". He's just not able to get there. But that is a special effort that you saw him go coast to coast. Well, the Warriors back on the power play. You can't make that offensive zone hit that Rigby Burkhardt made in the Moose Jaw zone.
Call it hit from behind. Second power play for Moose Jaw. And now they get a little bit of room to set it up from the line. That's Earhart getting it down low. Trying to collect the passes. Howden, or Bast rather. And there's Howden with the pass over there in the far corner. Trying to collect it cleanly, but couldn't, was Rowinski. Howden again in on the forecheck. Back here it comes to Smith. Smith, cross ice it goes. There's a nice centering pass there as Earhart started it from the line. Smith again, tries to get it down low. Here's Bast. Bast to Smith, the one-timer, and that goes off the target. Earhart looking for a rebound as he had pitched in from the point position. Comes around these boards. Bast gets himself a little bit of room now as he kind of fakes with those shoulder centering pass. Oh, what a save! That was an awesome save off Frazee by Jones. Hey, Jones looks sharp here in the early going. Bast. Now we're seeing why this power play might be third ranked. There's a centering pass off Jones right out of the reach, and just barely a Frazee. Otherwise, it looked like he had the game's first goal on his stick. Bosch plays it to Kevin Smith. Smith is going to peel back. He's been out there the whole time. Rowinski couldn't get it. 24 seconds remaining in the power play. Almost halfway through a scoreless first period. Warriors roll the puck back of the net. Hood first on it. Here's Rowinski putting on the brakes. Rowinski, head up, gets the pass again. Now he'll feed the blue line area. This is Stanton. Stanton gets it to Seward, shot on goal, turned aside by Jones. Trying to get the rebound is Rowinski, but he couldn't control it. Penalty over. Moose Jaw now 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Both teams with 6 shots on goal. Both goalies have made good saves. Jones perhaps having to be called upon to make a couple more glorious saves so far than Jeff Bosch.
Yeah, that last pass from Bast down low across to Frazee, he had to be very sharp to keep it a scoreless tie with Moose Jaw on that power play.
Schultz back to Stone. Stone took a check, but not before he moved the puck. Look at Moose Jaw on the forecheck. I've been quite impressed. Although Calgary gets away from that one. Here's Fisenko, and he's lined up. McElrath hit him. Centering pass. Intercepted. Moose Jaw has it. Here comes Cody Smuck. Smuck now 20 years old. One-time Chilliwack Bruin getting the puck in deep. Cozen collecting it on the far wall. Just like that, they're out of their own zone. Schultz from center. That's turned aside by Bosch.
So often, Dan, when you watch a team on the breakout, even in traffic, if you could complete one pass inside your own zone, you're generally out of it.
Tap down the ice. This is going to be icing, and we're going to step aside. 8:33 to go. No score. First period action on Shaw.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
From compacts to crossovers, the Mazda 3, engineered for handling, acceleration, response time, and safety, including Mazda's patented Triple H construction. Kelowna Motors for Mazda on Enterprise at Banks Road. Zoom, zoom.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort, and you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
On the Calgary Hitmen bench with assistant coach Joel Otto. Joel, what do you like about the start in this game?
Well, we haven't had very good starts lately, and that's probably some of the reason why we haven't been very successful as of late. But tonight the boys took it upon themselves to be a little more physical, to have that energy, and we're trying to get the puck in deep and get some shots on net to begin with here.
A top-ranked power play on the other side. Do you see what makes them successful?
Absolutely. You know, we've done our research. We know they're a very quick skating team that gets good puck pursuit on the power play, and that's probably what gains their success for being scoring so many on the power play. But we did a pretty good job the first two kills right now. Hopefully we don't have to do too many more of them.
Thanks for this.
You bet.
Guys.
Offsetting penalties, by the way, just before our timeout. And the Hitmen, we should congratulate them on 30 wins once again. That's 7 straight years, and in the franchise 12 out of 15 years. So they sit at 30 right now, on their way to many more.
And by the way, also congratulations to the Hitmen, 7th straight year that there's been a Hitmen player on Team Canada. Cozen and Jones, it ties a record that the Spokane Chiefs established between 94 and 2000.
So 4-on-4 for the first time tonight. Shot on goal and a big rebound there, but it's Moose Jaw gets possession of it, and out they come with McFall. Trying to go deep. Shot. Jones makes the save, and he holds on with one of the Moose Jaw players looking for a rebound.
Well, he's only 5'9", and he's 164 pounds, and he's probably going to have back-to-back 100-point seasons. Brandon Cozen, love the fact that Los Angeles took him where they did. He has the ability to find seams. You saw it there against Vancouver. You see it there against the Kootenay Ice. And then he kind of comes off when you least expect him. If you think you've got him, the thing with a guy like Cozen, Dan, you can check him all night, and you let him go for just, 10 seconds, and he'll put it in the net on you.
Like many players, there's a centering pass and a save and a rebound. They score! Bubnik! There's the first goal for the former Kamloops Blazer. Bubnik opens the scoring on a rebound right in front of Bosch.
And it's the two former Blazers combining. They've got them on a line together. This is Shattuck. This is his speed. Bubnik knows where to go. And the thing about Bubnik there, he's such a big guy that watch him in front, Dan. He gets that shot, and he gets the second shot. And it's simply a mistake made by a defenseman who skates out of the way. You see, if you don't stay with him, Chad Seward just slid off to the side, and it allowed big Jimmy Bubnik, with the size that he's got, to stay in front with that stick and hammer at his own rebound.
18th of the year, scored by number 14, Jimmy Bubnik. Assistant number 29, Tyler Shattuck. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 9 seconds. Bubnik is 18th.
Well, the three players from Kamloops we talked about off the top, Stebner and then those two, Shattuck and Bubnik, had combined for 1 goal in 5 games since joining. And there's Bubnick getting what is now his 18th of the season to give Calgary a 1-0 lead. Stone coming out as the 4-on-4 continues for another half minute. Stone brings it in over the line with Fisenko's shot, partially blocked. Stone collects his own rebound. Fisenko knocked off the puck. Smith rather gets the puck. Out it goes to Rowinski. Forced off the puck a little bit by Wilson as it's sent in deep. Collected by Giffen Nyren, another former Kamloops Blazer. In fact, Nyren played 98 games with the Blazers. Nyren stick handling. Here he goes all the way. Nyren can't finish it off. Boy, he got by the goalie, but the last man back there wouldn't let him. Kevin Smith made the good play to make sure Nyren didn't put a highlight film goal to make it in for 2-0. Frazee in over the line. A shot easily handled by Jones.
Well, Giffen Nyren's another guy, former Blazer, a 20-year-old that came over earlier. Way more structure in Nyren's game now, but he's got the freedom to do this. He is a terrific rusher because he's a former forward that's gone back to defense, and boy, that just takes a great play by the Moose Jaw defense to make sure they get their stick on that particular play. But he's made a terrific change of, skating from forward to backward. A neat pivot is needed to make that change, and Nyren's done that well. The only thing is, like any other defenseman, he's got to make sure he's got his good defensive reads. Well, calling a fight.
Burgard, tough customer. Cody Smuck, he's done this before. And they're right in the center ring, where they were. Couple body blows. Helmets come off. It's a close dance right now.
All you can do at this point is go for the body. Oh, there's a left overhand that Burgard tries to get in there. Body shots. Are there any more coming up?
Linesman poised to go in.
They've had enough.
Looked like they were just going to get separated, be able to throw a couple. That was a close dance.
I detected another little pat on the back, if I'm not mistaken. One of the hands patted the guy on the back, and it just goes to show you that as much as these guys put their, put their stuff on the line, it's never fun being in a fight. When it's over, you're saying, hey, guy, good fight, good job. Mike Williamson, not too sure how to figure it out, but I'm sure he's happy that the Kamloops connection has started to come. Watch the end of the fight. Watch if you see a little pat there. Watch it. It's going to come. Let it go.
It's a linesman tapping.
Oh, it was a linesman. Yeah, he's saying good job, guys. What a nice job Dave Hunchuk's done for this team. One of the most passionate coaches in the Western Hockey League. Add to that, he's such a great teacher, and in his second year with the Warriors, and he's got him playing awful good hockey.
Offsetting major penalties. And that's it. As Broda rolls the puck in, he gets it from a sharp angle. A shot on Bosch, turned aside. 11 shots on goal for Calgary, 9 for Moose Jaw. Chance for another one here. Beach, shot on goal, turned aside by Bosch. And again, a transition, another opportunity. Nyren shot from the line. And Bosch stops that as we go to Brendan.
Thanks, Dan. I had the opportunity to speak with head coach Dave Hunchak prior to this hockey game. Just really ask him about the youth of this hockey team. And he said, we are still very young, but one thing they have committed to is that youth movement. When they decided to strip it down last season, they've really stuck to that plan. And he said, we're young and we still make a ton of mistakes, but this is a fun team to watch. And it's a great team for the next 3 to 5 years on paper. And he really hopes that that system that they've put in place for this team is going to stick right here in Moose Jaw.
Well, let me tell you how young they were last year. They didn't have a 20-year-old in their lineup, and they only had the 319. So they won 19, lost 50, but it's all paying off now.
And Hunchak came over to Moose Jaw from Swift Current. Prior to that, 2 championships for Kindersley in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. His team's going to be shorthanded here. A slashing penalty on Stanton, and Calgary's going to get their first power play.
And you know the Moose Jaw Warriors are the least penalized team in the entire Western Hockey League. We're a very disciplined team. We got to look at the Calgary Hitmen power play.
The Hitmen have taken the second most penalties in the Eastern Conference. Only Medicine Hat on this side of the Rockies has been penalized more. So as the Hitmen go back into their own zone to collect the puck, they do have the 5th ranked power play operating at 25.8%. Moose Jaw's penalty kill ranked number 16 in the WHL. Kusenko shoots it in, but didn't get it up high. Easily gloved down and then sent down the ice by Moose Jaw. And that's what coaches talk about, the importance of a shoot-in. If you don't get it past the defender, you're all the way back down in your own zone. And works out well for Calgary, though, because once it got down there, Moose Jaw takes an offensive zone penalty. They're going to be 2-man short for 1:14, and Calgary will get the field position as well with a face-off going all the way back down to Moose Jaw territory.
You love to get in that offensive zone even when you're killing a penalty, but Spencer Edwards has got to make sure that he knows where his stick is. He knows the magnitude of the play developing. It didn't look like there was much happening, and he's put his team 2-man short. 1:14 in the first penalty to Ryan Stanton.
Fiddler wins the draw. Shattuck gets it back. Cozen collects the puck from Stone. Cozen holding it, trying to get it down low there for Shattuck. Cozen back to the net for Fiddler. Into that far corner, Shattuck will collect it back to the line. McKenzie to Stone. Stone has the big hard shot. Cozen pass in front of the net. Rebound shot. Rebound again. What a shot! Wow! 2-0 Hitman. Brendan Cozen. How's that for top shelf?
Well, Brandon Cozen, so much of a quarterback on this play. Watch what he does. He's got his head up. He made a great pass to the front of the net that wasn't converted by the Calgary Hitman, Tyler Fiddler, but he just stays with it. There's the chance. Another chance coming from the far side, and when you're a right-hand shot like Cozen, and you're a 2-man advantage situation on the ice, and you just have that puck squirt over you the way it did, that was an easy open netter for Cozen.
Assistant number 5, Matt McKenzie, and the number 23, Tyler Fiddler. Time to go 50 minutes and 39 seconds.
You'll see McKenzie pinch down low because of the 2-man advantage. On the far right of your screen, that's a defenseman. That's first of all Fiddler. That's a defenseman on the far right. That's why he gets an assist on the play. And that extra defenseman in that position simply makes it possible for Cozen to be that wide open with the puck.
Broda goes in deep. Bubnik back down low as well. Goes back to Nyren. Still over a minute to go in this next power play as Broda plays it, or tried to play it back, could not. And it goes down the ice. Now Cozen had 3 points in his last game against Lethbridge. Little bit of a World Junior hangover, or whatever you want to call it. He only had 1 point in the first 5 games after the World Juniors. Looks like he's flying here tonight with that goal, and he's had a couple other real notable plays as well. 2-0 Hitman, and looking to add to it. Cozen, another nice pass. Hits the referee. Cozen trying to get the puck, can't. Moose Jaw does. Frazee gets it out to center, trying to jump on it there is Smuck, or make that Bast. Bast going in, couldn't get that shot away. And Calgary out of their own zone. Long pass. That misses Kusenko. Around the boards, it comes out here to the neutral zone where Stone has it. 10 seconds to go in the Moose Jaw penalty. 2-0 Calgary. They have a 4-on-4 goal and a 5-on-3 goal. Kusenko, hard pass. Cozen now collects it off the boards. Intercepted out of the penalty box. Lead pass intended for Spencer Edwards. Now he gets it, throws it in front of the net, but McKenzie back there to make a play, and he chops it out to the neutral zone. Gobbled up there by Calgary, and here comes Sylvester. Sylvester's shot turned aside. Another chance there for Calgary. That's good positioning there by Dale Cowan to get that puck off the backboards. Couldn't get the shot on goal. Now Moose Jaw's Chad Sewer has it. Over on the far side, held in, long shot, big rebound. Has to hit the defenseman. What a save by Bosch. that close to being 3-0. Sylvester with a great opportunity there, and Bosch with the right pad save. Cowan. Intercepted. Here comes Hood. A little bit of a pass to the net, and a save, and a rebound. Put wide. Hood, sharp angle shot. That didn't reach the net. Hood again. Can't get the shot on goal. In deep there for Moose Jaws. Cornelison. Cornelison puts it back to the net, and it's Jimmy Bubnick now. Bubnick weaving his way through, trying to go all the way. Bubnick! Stopped by Bosch! Oh, Bubnick, the third Calgary player to almost go coast to coast.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a breakout going here tonight. He's happy with that goal that he scored. This is a speed, this is a quickness. That's why Atlanta's taken him. They took him in the 6th round, and I tell you, I think he's got all of his best hockey, a lot of hockey left ahead of him. This is the Moose Jaw chance earlier, and I think it's just a nice job. I think it might even be Bubnick, 14 in front of his own net, clearing that rebound. So Jimmy Bubnick able to do the good job at both ends of the ice.
Danny Gale giving chase for Moose Jaw. But Calgary with possession. Out comes McKenzie to Fiddler. Fiddler shoots it in. Edwards hit him as he shot the puck in. Rolls around the boards out to the neutral zone. The Warriors are coming out. Edwards collecting the pass. Head up as he tries to throw it in the slots way high. McFall, as we go into the final minute of the period, putting the puck down to Edwards. Edwards back to the line. Shot there taken by Parody. That goes to the corner. Danny Gale can't get the puck in front. McElrath couldn't quite hold it in, but he did throw a nice check. Now he has the puck. McElrath being checked by Fisenko. McFall goes in to help out. Kendall McFall, 17-year-old from Rosetown, Saskatchewan, off the boards.
He's part of that great 07 Bantam draft for Moose Jaw. What a Bantam draft that was. 6 players currently in the lineup, Dan, for the Warriors from that 07 draft class.
Have you seen that before?
Never. No, I've never seen that. The first 6 picks, and that's just congratulations to former general manager Chad Lang and the great Warriors scouting staff.
2-0 Calgary Hitmen after the first period of play here in the Saddle Dome as we send it to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Coming up in the first intermission, fresh off a week in beautiful downtown Windsor, Ontario, Joey Kenner will be here to go inside the WHL. That's right, he was at the top prospects game. Hitman forward Jimmy Bubnick got his first as a Calgary Hitman, of course, acquiring the trade deadline from Kamloops. He will be our ringside guest, plus the always entertaining plays of the week. All of that coming up next, right here on the WHL Unshot.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort, and you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
The 2010 Canadian Direct Insurance BC Men's Curling Championship is live on Shaw. Catch the semi-final live from Vernon. Tune in Saturday, February 6th at 7 p.m. Pacific to see the best of BC battle it out for a spot in the final.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
PostNet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. PostNet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center. The gutter filter system from Sun Valley Window Cleaners. It seals out all types of debris, including leaves, pine needles, and seed pods. Invisible from the ground and no maintenance required. Water pours through it while everything else blows over the top. For more information, go to sunvalleywindowcleaners.com.
Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. It is the Calgary Hitmen leading the Moose Jaw Warriors 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Jimmy Bubnick with his 18th of the season, and Brandon Kozin his 23rd of the year, are the scores for the Hitmen. Time now, as usual, go inside the WHL. Joey Kenward is here. What's going on, Joe?
Back on the west coast, the Pacific time zone, after being out east in Ontario. I'd never been to an Ontario Hockey League building, but I had the opportunity to go check out the CHL Top Prospects game down in Windsor. Beautiful building, beautiful city, and what very well could be the next time the OHL hosts a Memorial Cup could very well come down right across from Detroit City.
Yeah, well, of course, this is your CHL All-Star game, sort of. I mean, it's a lot different than any other All-Star game because obviously there's a lot of guys trying to prove themselves as prospects. It was Team Cherry defeating Team Moore 4-2, and a couple of guys on the Team Cherry were from the WHL and very prominent.
Yeah, now a couple of players that aren't big in size or stature certainly played big, much more than I think a lot of people might have expected them to on the national stage. But that includes Regina Pats forward Jordan Wheel and Medicine Hat Tigers leading sniper Emerson Edom, and these two guys made some big time
And I think
headlines.
we have a couple of the goals to show everybody at home. Of course, you know, these guys are trying to improve their draft stock, as we'll get an opportunity here. Look at the shorthanded goal for Emerson Edom.
Yeah, he's got 4 shorthanded tallies already this season with the Tigers, but that was a big shorthanded goal to give Team Cherry the lead. And then this goal, a beautiful redirect by Wheel. It turned out to be the game-winning goal for Don Cherry's club. And Wheel is a real opportunistic player. He is 4th overall in WHL scoring. Edom is the highest scoring rookie forward in the Western Hockey League, and those two are doing themselves a real good service by the performance they put on in Windsor earlier this week.
Other guys who are sort of prominent on the score sheet, of course, Nino Niederreiter continues to impress. He had an unbelievable goal in the skills competition. We'll see that in the plays of the week coming up next, and Calvin Pickard with Saul the net.
Yeah, he played the first half of the game for Bobby Orr's team, allowed just 1 goal against, that being to Niederreiter. And you're right, if you haven't seen Nino's goal that took part in the skills competition the night before, please stay tuned. That's one of the best goals you'll ever see in the real hot dog variety.
Of this group, was there anybody there from the Western Hockey League that you think improved their stock?
Yeah.
People that had the scouts going, this is the guy we want to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. And my pick would have been Brad Ross from the Portland Winterhawks. So he was a late addition because he wasn't initially named to the prospects game, but this was a guy that was just miserable out there. Anytime he was on the ice, he was doing something, whether he was giving the stick to an opponent, whether he was getting into a scoring opportunity. He even got into a little bit of a jousting match with his Portland teammate, Nino Niederreiter. But he realized that, you know what, we're teammates back down in the Rose City. We're not teammates here in Windsor. And I think that a lot of scouts certainly saw him as a guy that maybe saw his stock rise a little bit.
Now, a guy we get to see tonight, and he is a large man, Dylan McElrath. He even got in a little tilt with another WHL guy.
Yeah, and for my money, and this was being talked about a lot out in Windsor, Dylan McElrath from the Warriors might be the toughest prospect anywhere.
That's him in the white there.
That's him in the white, taking on Alex Petrovic from the Red Deer Rebels. And McElrath obviously got the upper hand, and even though Petrovic was trying to get a few shots in while he was down in the crease, it was a decision for the Moose Jaw Warriors defenseman. Now, how big is this guy? We already talked about his measurements. 6'5", 200-plus pounds as a 17-year-old. His wingspan, though, fingertip to fingertip, 7 feet.
That's crazy.
This is a guy
that
guy. Will shoot. He will, I'll guarantee it, he will shoot up the draft rankings big time. He'll not only be a first-round NHL draft pick, he very well could be in the top half of the 30 players selected in round 1.
All right, the other big news in the WHL this week is the return of James Wright to the Vancouver Giants. He, of course, was playing with the Tampa Bay Lightning, played 48 games with them this year, picked up 5 points, but the Lightning deciding that what would be better for his development would come back to juniors. So the Giants, no deadline deal. I mean, they picked up Vancouver and Bright Cruz at the deadline, but this is a serious deal. I mean, huge for them.
Yeah, basically bringing in a brand new player, but most importantly, a player that knows the system under Don Hay. And as a 19-year-old who we see here, had his best season last year with Vancouver, 21 goals, 47 points. Surprised many around not only the WHL but the NHL that he cracked the roster as a 19-year-old down with the Lightning. but he'll be a welcome addition to the Vancouver Giants, a team that, in addition to getting players like Vinsour, like Bright Cruz at the deadline, this is a pretty good player to throw into the mix offensively for the Giants, and all of a sudden it's made the push in the Western Conference chase that much more exciting here heading towards the playoffs.
Absolutely, and he is set to return next Friday when they play Kamloops. Unfortunately, that does it for us this evening. Joey, thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we got to take another quick break here at WHL Central, but lots more to come, including the plays of the week right after this.
Discovery Honda. New and used cars and financing available. Discovery Honda on the Island Highway just north of Duncan.
We're not saying don't pick up your children, just do it correctly. As little as 20 minutes of activity a day is all it takes to keep your back flexible and strong, allowing you to safely lift even your most precious cargo. We're not saying don't bend your back, just bend correctly. 25% of all work injuries are back-related, so keep fit, maintain flexibility, and bend your knees when picking up even the smallest object.
Truck Accessories does trucks, cars, SUVs, and vans. Chrome step bars, ladder racks, and box covers are just a small portion of their inventory. See us at 430A 40th Ave Northeast, just off Edmonton Trail, or check our website for more information at truckaccessories.ca.
TBC Indoor Kart Racing. www.tbcir.ca.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Tuesday, January 26th, when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain high at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
See the Olympic rings there in the Cole Harbour here in Vancouver as Vancouver gets set for the 2010 Winter Games. But we're talking junior hockey in the WHL, and it is the Calgary Hitmen leading the Moose Jaw Warriors 2-0 after 20 minutes to play. Jimmy Bubnick, who just turned 19 a couple of days ago, got his first goal as a Hitman in that first period, opened the scoring for Calgary, and right now he is ringside back at the Saddle Dome with Brendan Parker.
Jimmy, first of all, how does it feel to get that first goal as a Calgary Hitman?
Oh, you know, it feels great. I took a few games, you know, I got a few games under my belt, but, you know, it feels good. Monkey's off my shoulders now, and, you know, let's move forward from here.
Did you think you had the second one?
I thought so, but yeah, he got a glove on it. You know, he made a nice glove save, but, you know, hopefully we'll pot a few more in the second and third.
As each game goes on with a Calgary Hitman uniform, do you feel that comfort level growing?
Oh, for sure. You know, the first few games, you know, just a matter of getting my legs under me, getting to know the team. Now I feel a lot more comfortable. You know, I feel like I'm generating a lot more scoring chances, and I think my plays went up.
Are you happy with the play of your team in that first period?
Oh, for sure. You know, we did what we wanted to do. We got lots of pucks on net. You know, we kept them relatively, you know, kept their scoring chances down, and, you know, I'm very happy with that first period for sure.
Thanks for this, and good luck the final two.
Thank you.
Jimmy Bubnick, a sixth-round draft pick of the Atlanta Thrashers, as we head back to Dan Elliott. Dan?
Thank you very much, Brendan. Well, right now, the Everett Silvertips are playing their best hockey of the season tonight. They look for their 11th straight victory as they pay a visit to Portland. Now, last Friday, they were featured right here on Shaw, and Thomas Heemskirk picked up first-star honors for his performance, including a spectacular save in the first period. Now, if you look close enough in the video, you just might see myself standing behind the net with my jaw dropping after seeing that save. Well, let's see what else made the top 5 plays in another edition of this week's Plays of the Week.
To the net, still Fortnack, he scores! What a
Charlotte Bulmer, blue line. Booker to Peter to Cody. Jiggy walks in. Chance!
Hopes it ahead to Horak. Now to Wicklund. Huss point to the goal. Wicklund in front. House! Oh! Are you kidding me?
Horak going in right in front, and House is robbed! What a save by Heemskirk off House. Great scoring opportunity, and Heemskirk says no.
8 other games in WHL this evening. Let's run through the scores for you. Swift Current leading Regina 4-3 in the third period of play. Justin Dowling's got a goal and assist. The Kootenay Ice looking for their 14th straight victory. They trail 3-2 in Saskatoon after 2 periods of play. Stefanelli's got a goal and an assist elsewhere. Brandon up 5-0 on PA. Aaron Lewandowski's got 2 goals. Tony Raella has got 3 assists. It's Lethbridge leading Edmonton 1-0 in the second. Mark Renners has got the goal for the Hurricanes. Other games going on this evening haven't started yet. In about 5 minutes time, Chilliwack and Kamloops square off. Bruins lead Kamloops by 1 point in the standings. Prince George looking to snap their 7-game losing streak as they take on the Kelowna Rockets. The top 2 teams in the Western Conference, the Vancouver Giants and Tri-City, to take on the Americans. And the Everett Silvertips put their 10-game winning streak on the line as they pay a visit to the Portland Winterhawks. Now, if you want to be as smart as Joey Kenward, make sure you check out WHL.ca, the league site for all your stats, scores, and so much more. That's WHL.ca. Well, that will do it for here at WHL Central in Vancouver. Time now to send it back to the Saddle Dome in Calgary and rejoin Dan and Bill with highlights and their thoughts through 20 minutes. Guys?
Thanks very much, Dan. They're having a promotion here, the Western Night. A lot of folks here with the cowboy hats on, but we saw a chuck wagon race on the ice between periods. That was kind of fun. I haven't been to the Calgary Stampede for a while, but a lot of minor hockey players out there pushing the chuck wagon. So
one started spinning around. Did you see that? You got no chance there.
No. Not many of them are held on ice, I don't believe. Now, we talked about the Calgary Hitmen before the game having slow starts, and Joel Otto referenced that when Brendan Parker spoke to him halfway through the first period. That was a good start for Calgary.
Yeah, right off the bat, we'll show you, again, the way you want to start a period in your own zone. This is a whole lot better, Dan. That's challenging the puck. That's challenging for space. And that is just a good save by the goaltender. Remember, we showed you a little lack of focus earlier on Jones. Enjoy Cozen going coast to coast. This is what he does best. He just flies by guys. And he has an uncanny way of finding people in the slot. And this is the goal. You're going to see Shattuck go up the ice here and get that puck to Bubnik. When we show it to you this time, and Bubnik with the monkey off his back, I want you to watch something in front of the net. This is Bubnik going there. Well, stop it. Now you see Chad Sewer for the Moose Jaw Warriors, number 5. He has skated about 5 feet too far to his right, and that allows Big Bubnik in a spot to get his own rebound. Calgary goal, terrific. Good passing, good puck movement. Show you on this look, Dan, the spinning defense. They just don't know who to cover. Stop it there. 23 Fiddler gets the Cozen pass from the corner. Watch all 3 Moose Jaw players spinning. Now McKenzie comes in from the point. They've all done a complete 380 to kind of turn around, 360 to get around. And then they forget about Cozen, the goal scorer on the far side, and it makes a doubly problem. Bubnik, good job on the back check there. Took his man to the front of the net. That set up this coast-to-coast rush, and a good save by Bosch to keep Bubnik from getting his second. Jimmy doing the great job at both ends of the ice.
Bubnik had 4 shots on goal in that period to lead the shooters. 18 for Calgary, 10 for Moose Jaw. 2-0 Hitmen after 1. Second period action on Shaw. Coming up.
Shaw TV has been sponsored in part by the Genesis at Crowfoot Hyundai. Crowfoot Hyundai Sales and Servicing. located in the Crowfoot Center Northwest.
PostNet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. PostNet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center.
Waste Management is using the resources at our disposal to create enough green energy to power over 1 million homes. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green. Think Waste Management.
Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep, one of Canada's largest auto dealers, offers a huge selection of new and used vehicles. Northland has every make and model as well as financing for any vehicle purchase. Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep on 20th Avenue in Prince George. Check out northlanddodge.ca.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
Wheel Pros have trained professionals to help find the wheels that fit your vehicle. They have a large stock of rims, mags, and wheel accessories for your ride. All in their new showroom, 4143 Edmonton Trail Northeast. The Wheel Pros.
The Western Hockey League would like to take this time to recognize its prestige partners. Cal Tire, a proud supporter of amateur athletes throughout Western Canada. Cal Tire, true service. And your local Husky and Mohawk retailer, home of Mother Nature's fuel. Naturally, it's Husky.
Welcome back to the WHL on Shot. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms at the Saddle Dome, where the Calgary Hitmen have a 2-0 lead over the Moose Jaw Warriors. The 4th and final meeting of the year between these two clubs, and the Warriors have posted 2 wins and an OTL, so they're unbeaten virtually against Calgary this year. Calgary got one in extra time, a 2-1 win at Moose Jaw. As we start this period, here's Bass going in, just missing the far corner. Bass has a hat trick against Calgary in one of the earlier games this year, and his long Ironman streak, that's number 20 for Moose Jaw, came to an end not too long ago. He had played 228 consecutive games, then had surgery for a broken facial bone. Shot stopped by Jones. Bass there looking for the rebound, and they're a better team, obviously, with 20-year-old Bass in their lineup.
He's the only player remaining from their 06 Eastern Conference Championship team, and he's from Moose Jaw. He's played his entire career in Moose Jaw. And you talk about that Ironman streak, he was coming off back-to-back 72-game seasons, and I think as Ironman, did you mention 228 consecutive games, and Jason Bass is going to be one of those guys, unless he signs pro, that may end up with a wonderful scholarship opportunity.
They felt it was like getting a new player back at the deadline. He only missed 12 games, but he's that important to them. As the puck goes around this near side, held in at the line by Kendall McFall. Obviously the start of this period important for Moose Jaw. They want to get back in this game down 2-0. They've had chances in the game, some of them as a result of forechecks like this. McFall holding the puck in, but only for a moment. Bubnik starts back, has Shattuck on his right, taking the pass. Fiddler takes the drop pass. Fiddler back for Shattuck. Now Bubnik behind the net, trying to work it in front. And there's a pass and a shot. It just was partially fanned on as much as anything by Shattuck, because Bubnik had him, and Shattuck looked like he had a good opportunity there. Unable to get a lot on it. Here's Shattuck again. That's turned aside by Bosch as it goes off the screen or the netting, and it's out of play, so we'll get a face-off in the Moose Jaw zone.
General Manager Kelly Kissio was asked about the trade with Kamloops, how long it took him to put this together. As we see the two guys involved, Bubnik and Shattuck, he said about a week and a half. He said one day you like the deal, another day you don't. What he wanted, Dan, was a top 2-line player and a top 4 defenseman. Now he got that plus more. He got Shattuck, he got Bubnik, he got Stebner, and in those 3 guys he added 46 goals to this Calgary lineup, and he made the team better this year, you know, without sacrificing anything next year. They're still pretty good in what they're going to have coming back for next year.
On the other hand, Cam was very happy with Austin Medeski, the young defenseman they have high hopes for, and Craig Bonner told us when we were there that you have to give up more to get a quality defenseman in this league at trading deadline, so he knew he was going to pay a premium. We'll see how it works out for both teams. Meantime, 2-0 here, 2:10 gone, second period. Sylvester shooting it down the ice, Cowan giving chase. On the forecheck, Cowan hits Kevin Smith. However, the Warriors come up with the puck. Kevin Smith from North Vancouver sending the puck down the ice for an icing in the arms in the air as well. We have a penalty coming up. So we had icing and a penalty. There's your interference called. We'll see who's going to be the penalized player.
Well, I think it is Zach Stebner, one of the guys we just talked about in the trade. You watch the Warriors just dump it in, and I mean, it is a silly penalty right at the blue line. It's an interference penalty. Watch 11. As soon as you get that free arm, now you can take your arm off the stick anytime you want in hockey, but when you take that arm off the stick and in any way impede a player, you're going to call pretty well every time.
Stebner, who's played in Red Deer, Prince Albert, and Kamloops, gets 2 minutes for interference at 2:27. Third power play for Moose Jaw. And
I think an important one.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, it's 2-0. It's pretty obvious. The Moose Jaw needs to score the next goal. You're not going to come back too often against Calgary down 3-0, no matter what stage of the game it's at. Moose Jaw playing 4 of their next 5 on the road. They're in Red Deer tomorrow night. Here's Kozin short-handed and a high rising shot. Bosch ducks. The puck goes over his head and off the glass. Brian Stanton with the puck. 31 points this year for Stanton. Number 15 amongst defensemen in the Western Hockey League. Frazee sends it in. As I say, it's the third power play. It's offside, or is it? No, we got another penalty. Back referee calling another Calgary player. So Calgary, who scored a goal with a 2-man advantage, now will be 2-man short for 1:23.
I think it's Del Cowan that's going to take the puck. But this is Kozin at his absolute best. The turnover in the neutral ice area, Mike Williamson not happy with it. But while his team was shorthanded, Kozin had a really, really good chance. And part of the reason was that Stanton, I think, gave him a little bit too much room. And with Kozin going to the net, you got to tighten that gap real tight on him. Now, it's a 2-man advantage for the Moose Jaw Warriors. This is really, I think, an important part for them to join the race.
Jason Bass sends it in. Howden leads it, comes back out to the line, but intercepted by Calgary's Schultz, and he sends it the length of the ice. Now a minute to go in the 2-man advantage. Brian Stanton's pass. Collected on the far side. Howden heads to the front of the net. Bass goes to that circle. There's Stanton with the puck, getting it to Bass. Howden parked right in front. Kicks at the puck. Jones stopped that one as well. Comes back to Stanton. Cross-ice pass, and not collecting it cleanly was Frazee. He couldn't get that one-timer on net. Sewer shot. Why? Rebound! What a save by Jones! Wow! Off the backboards. The Moose Jaw player Bass takes a lot of time. Too much time. Jones comes over and makes a big save.
Now, there were 2 saves earlier. He had Howden right in his face. Jones did. He made that save. This is the last of the sequence. His biggest save. The shot from the point. This time you get Bass over a left-hand shot just where you want him. And that is as acrobatic a save, folks, as you are going to see in this league at any time.
Rowinski collects the puck. Still 25 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. Rowinski can't get the pass down low as Stone got a stick in front of it. Here's Stanton again. Stanton, Sewer. Now it comes to McMaster. Or check that, Hood moves in, pass, and Jones makes another save at the side of the net. This time on former teammate Rowinski. Jones shining here during this 2-man disadvantage for Calgary. Stanton shot tips out of play.
I talked about being able to go post to post as a big guy before. Hood to Rowinski on this one. You've got to make this move if you're a goaltender 6'4". How quickly goaltender Jones got over there. Take a look from this side. Now you had to have a lot of presence of mind in Rowinski's case to go up top under the crossbar where Jones was going to get that big pad on it.
Calgary now just 1 man short and able to send the puck the length of the ice. 22 seconds left in the second penalty to Del Cowan. 2-0 Calgary, and one of their 2 goals came on a 2-man advantage. Warriors on the puck. Dying seconds of their power play. Kevin Smith. Honasek throws the puck towards the front of the net. Penalty is over. Berwinski holding. Pass out here to Hood, shooting up high, and Jones has it go off his arm and then over top the net. Calgary back at full strength. Moose Jaw 0 for 4 with the man advantage. Still 2-0 Hitmen. Smith has it. Smith got the puck up to Parody, and Jesse Parody from Winnipeg sends it in. However, McKenzie's going to send it right back out again. Warriors answer back by dumping it deep into the Calgary zone, but the Hitmen are on it. And here they come, led by Zach Stebner. No further than the neutral zone. Then it hit the linesman in the back and went off him, out of play.
You know, when your goaltender is in a situation that you're 2 men short, boy, if ever he has to be your best player, your best penalty killer, he was there. And Martin Jones, they talk about, did he feel bad about that overtime goal that he gave up against the USA in the World Junior Final, and apparently just shook it off like nothing. He's that kind of a guy. One of the things about Martin Jones too, Dan, he was really good fundamentally, you know, when he was young, so that he took it with him as he got to be a tall goaltender. And some people don't, they're only good goaltenders in minor hockey because they're big. Well, he's been very, very talented.
Just past the 6-minute mark here, and here are the Warriors trying to throw it in front of the net. Comes back to McFall. But he couldn't make the pass, and it's Calgary getting out of their own zone. McFall again turns and gets it out to the center ice area. And McFall will try once more. Cross ice, it goes to McElrath. Back to McFall. That was such a treat when we had Portland on Shaw with that great 17-year-old line. Arguably the best 17-year-old line, 3 17-year-olds. We saw them on Shaw last week. And then this week we'd get maybe the 2 best 17-year-old defensive pairings.
Yeah, they've been good. They've been real solid out there. And you know, we're talking about McFall number 2 and McElrath number 8. Dan, they play in all situations too. They play penalty kill, power play. Coach Hunchak has them out just about every time. And to think they're only 17, it's just amazing. I think the future for the Warriors is so bright, and it just dovetails so beautifully with their new rink they're going to get.
Which is under construction right now as a centering pass. They should be at home here. This is like a crush can, only a major version of it. Schultz in over the line. His shot goes wide. Moose Jaw player dump, play on. Comes back to Wilson. Hard pass intended for Fisenko. Posen goes in. He fell. And the Warriors are on it, and out they come. You know, the Warriors 19 times this year have hit 5 goals or more in a game. So when they score, they score. That's 19 times out of 45 games, which in this day and age of hockey, that's a lot of offense.
Well, they got so much balanced scoring this year. The Moose Jaw Warriors have 7 players with 10 or more goals. That's a lot of guys you can throw on the ice that can score.
But none tonight, thanks to Martin Jones and the penalty kill recently. Here's Howden, though, going in, taking off his stick. Trying to gobble it up was Danny Gale, who is from Calgary. You know how excited he'd be about playing here tonight as the puck flips back into the Moose Jaw zone. Kevin Smith back for it, but it's over the icing line, and the faceoff will go all the way back into the Calgary zone.
6'3", and you can skate like this. Quentin Howden, watch him come off the wall with that puck. There's a scrum. Look at the 3 strides he's flying. You know, there's some comparisons between Quentin Howden and Ryan Getzlaf. Boy, and you can see why. Ryan Getzlaf with Anaheim.
Sorry, Bill, at the top prospects game, Howden was the best shooter as far as accuracy is concerned, at the skills. But he's got quite a pack. You know, 6 of his 20 goals are unassisted this year. I mean, that stands out on the stat sheet.
Yeah, he is the first overall Bantam pick in his draft year. He was number 1. You can see why.
Here's Hood trying to get past Wilson. Couldn't get it in front. As much as we are talking about Moose Jaw's offense, nothing here tonight so far, but not for a lack of the puck being down here. Hood gets it back to the line. Long shot through traffic, and Jones is there. The rebound is covered up by Jones, and you can see what Stone's reaction is as the Moose Jaw player Honasek was trying to dig that puck out of Jones's equipment, and that's going to draw that kind of reaction about 10 times out of 10 from a defenseman.
And again, if you're wondering if Jimmy Bubnick can play both zones or both parts of the ice, the shot from the point, I want you to watch 14 and Stone. Bubnick there, Stone there. You just start pushing guys out of the way. literally and physically.
Another power play coming up.
But again, not much of a rebound. Martin Jones very, very good at keeping that puck right at his feet.
Stone for roughing after he roughed up Honusek. I guess the referee felt the puck was free. He had a good look at it. So the 5th power play now for Moose Jaw. Cowan trying to dig the puck. Here's Howden off the boards. Nice pass in front. Another pass, and a shot is stopped by Jones. Sewer stopped by Jones. 2 great passes to set that up.
You want some more Quentin Howden, folks? This is why he's ranked as high as he is. He's 5th best ranked in the Western Hockey League. Explosiveness, ability to see the ice, makes the great cross-ice pass. Good job to get it back to the defense here. And then the shot from the blue line again. Jones in great position. Terrific puck movement by the Warriors.
Shots 8-1 in this period for Moose Jaw. They win another face-off. Of course, they've had a lot of power play time. There's a hard pass in front. Another save by Jones. Martin Jones, fantastic so far tonight. Frazee trying to take the return pass. We talked off the top of the show how many times the Hitmen have been burned by losses where the other goalie was the #1 star. Well, so far, halfway through this game, no doubt who the #1 star is, and it's the Calgary goalie tonight. As Moose Jaw brings it in, Stanton can't get it in front of the net. Cowan trying to dig it free. Comes back over here. Frazee. Not too much room for Frazee to work with. Now he gets a little bit more as he plays it down low. There's a pass that doesn't click in front of the net as Bass couldn't collect it cleanly from Howden.
That puck just exploded off Howden's stick. He's skating, he's passing, and he's got that zip to that pass as well. Look at the work Howden does along the wall to create that loose puck. Unfortunately for the Warriors, they can't keep it in.
Howden, McElrath, and Matt McKenzie. As one goes off the post there. What a shot. Those 3 players played for the Bobby Orr team at the top prospects game. Schultz takes a shot while short-handed, and that's turned aside by Bosch. So we get chances at both ends and a goal post for Moose Jaw, and it remains 2-0. Calgary still short-handed as that shot tips out of play.
Well, there's still 17 seconds left in the Moose Jaw power play, but this is as close as they've come as well. Give a listen to this shot.
Frazee.
Oh, that's getting a lot of it. Thomas Frazee. That's a tough one to block, folks. Thomas Frazee, I think, has finally found a home. Played earlier in Moose Jaw to Portland, Medicine Hat. Yeah, he's doing a nice job here.
From the face-off. Warriors have it, but they only have 8 seconds to work with for this man advantage, and certainly the special teams are a difference. 0 for 5 now, Moose Jaw. Calgary 1 for 2, and the shots are 20-19, 10-1 in this period in favor of Moose Jaw, but nothing to show for it. Cozen now to Stone. He sends it in deep, gobbled up there by Kevin Smith. Tipped out by the Warriors. Giving chase is Brendan Rowinski. Long pass tips back into the Moose Jaw zone. Back to get it, Dallas Earhart, who is from Calgary. Up the wall it goes. Stone now has it. Stone. Only 2 goals for Stone in his last 20 with that good shot. You know, he's got certainly that weapon. 15 on the year, 19 last year, but a little quiet in the last 20 games.
Man, I'm not a huge fan of plus-minus, but Stone has gone from a plus 43 to a minus 6.
How'd that happen?
Well, and I'm just wondering sometimes if you're played defensively, if you're on the ice for goals against, in Michael Stone's case, just maybe you lose a little bit of your effect at the other end. You're a little more conscientious of what you've got to do behind your own blue line.
We saw one play in the first period that might indicate why that plus-minus has gone the other way, as that puck is frozen. 8:05 to go, second period. 2-0 Hitmen on Shaw.
Waste management landfills provide more than 17,000 acres of protected land for wildlife habitat. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think waste management.
The EricHolmes.com real estate team is a proud sponsor of community television. Visit us at EricHolmes.com.
The WHL, the leading supplier of hockey scholarships in Western Canada. Over 250 WHL grads are using WHL scholarships across Canada. The WHL, your game, your future.
On the Moose Jaw Warriors bench with head coach Dave Hunchak, what do you tell your team when you run into a hot goaltender?
Keep shooting the puck. We're getting scoring chances here. We've had plenty of power play opportunities. For us, it's a matter of getting pucks ahead, try to get more traffic and capitalize on second and third opportunities.
Although you haven't scored, are you happy with the way your power play's been working?
Well, we've had to make some adjustments to it here. Much better in the second period. The 5-on-3 was a miss that we need to have. We just need to keep going after him here.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, this is what Dave Hunchak's team has run into. Talking about keep on shooting. What do you got to have to do? That save, that started early. Martin Jones, no rebounds. People in his face. He's just held his position so well. And when called upon, 2 men short, a couple totally acrobatic saves, and he's kept us a 2-0 Calgary Hitmen lead. But like Hunchak says, they're getting the chances. And I'll tell you, folks, they're what we call grade A scoring chances.
Now a face-off deep in the Moose Jaw zone with just over 8 minutes remaining in the period. Wilson holding it in for Calgary, but only for a moment as Moose Jaw's out of their own zone. Checking the neutral zone. McElrath back to get it, and now brought in offside by Calgary.
Dan, we've talked an awful lot about defensive prospects, and if you've watched Shaw, we've talked a lot about the #1 prospect on defense in the Western Hockey League, that great player Mark Pesic from Edmonton. Well, this is a guy that's #2. McElrath solidly #2 at 6'5", 215 pounds. We talked about him right off the top. Prospects game the other night, a fight with Alex Petrovic from Red Deer. Tell me that thing, don't tell me that doesn't mean something, the Prospects game.
And the same 2 players meeting tomorrow night in Red Deer. Well, maybe round 2, I don't know. I'm just going to look on the WHL website tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I might just, watch a little bit of that on the website and just see if those 2 players come together again. That's WHL.ca, my homepage. Now Beach puts the puck in front of the net. What's your homepage?
Oh, golly.
Oh, it changes every week, apparently.
Yeah, it does.
All right, fair enough. Usually a golf site, I know that.
No, hotmail.com.
Oh, it's Hotmail, okay. Never know who's going to check in with Bill. Here's Calgary's Stebner out of his own zone. Stebner shoots the puck in. It's off the backboards. Trapezoid in play there as Bosch had to be careful. Cozen from back of the net. Cozen. Always have to be careful when he's on the ice. As he chases the puck down in this side, he got it to Schultz, who throws it in front, right on goal. And that puck bouncing around in the slot area before the Warriors able to get it out.
Well, you sure get the feeling that if the Warriors could grab one, get on the board, it'd be the motivation they need, because even with the penalties that they've had, the 2-man advantages, you sense they've taken over a little control of this game.
Nice to see Moose Jaw and Shaw. We're going to see Brandon on Shaw next Tuesday from what should be sold out Kootenay ice. Looking forward to that next Tuesday to see the host Memorial Cup champions on the road against the red-hot Kootenay Ice. 13-0-1 in their last 14 games.
Yeah, they've got 3 and 3 nights, I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday before that game in Cranbrook on Tuesday.
3 more wins, is that what you're saying?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, they're in Brandon tonight. No, they're in Saskatoon tonight. That'll take some doing, but boy, they're hot. And aren't they always flying under the radar over in Cranbrook?
So that'll be on Tuesday night here on Shaw. Meantime, 5.5 to go here in the second. It's been a pretty quiet period for the Hitmen, although they have been shorthanded a lot. Here's a long lead, breakaway pass, passed right in, and he couldn't get the shot away. Bass throws it back towards the front of the net, doesn't get there. Goes back to the blue line. Long shot by Stanton that goes, or Smith rather, goes off the target. And Bast trying to keep that puck in and almost got all the way through, didn't. And now off the boards, here comes Cowan. Cowan by himself now. Goes back at the net, waiting for some help. The reinforcements are there, and Cowan still has the puck as he dumps it back at the net. Trying to get the puck there is Jimmy Bubnik with Shattuck. Shattuck in the corner. Throws it in front. Bubnik and Shattuck trying to get something down low. They bang at the puck. Broda there as well. Another centering pass. Intercepted. And Broda strips the Moose Jaw player of the puck. Broda still with it. Throws it in front for Bubnik. And it goes wide of the net. Now the Hitmen buzzing for the first time in this period. Bubnik, Shattuck, and Broda. This line in there deep. Causing havoc. Goes back to the line. Shot turned aside. Shattuck again. Throws it in front and Bubnik puts it wide. Bubnik's on it. Well, this is the kind of visualization I'm sure Kelly Kissio had for Bubnik and Shattuck and Broda back in the lineup as of tonight. After he missed some games. Here's Broda again and over the line. His shot, that's knocked down. Back the other way for Moose Jaw. Cody Smuck, lead pass. In over the line. Parody going in. Pass in front. Smuck couldn't get the pass. Parody trying to get it back for Smuck. Cody Smuck. Again, the Warriors trying to just grind along these boards to keep it in. Shattuck and Broda ought to be tired. That's why they're trying to get a whistle. They can't. That might be a factor. They can't get off the ice right now. The long change. See if they can now as they get the puck. Shattuck from center will flip it in, and all those Hitmen will head to the bench on the line change.
Right after the Bass breakaway, that was a great job by the Hitmen to establish play inside the Warrior zone. That, I thought, was a terrific bounce-back shift.
There's Kootenay on the out-of-town scoreboard. We just talked about them. Wow. 4-3 leading. Not over yet.
We've never questioned the Kootenay Ice, if they're real or not. It's just that we don't see them enough.
We'll see them on Tuesday.
They're not doing it with mirrors, folks.
There's 3 minutes left in that hockey game. We'll see if they hold on. We saw them on Shaw a couple times this year, and one time against Kamloops, they were down 5-1 after 2 periods, rallied to win the hockey game. And that might have been the turnaround for the Kootenay Ice. There's a heavy check in the corner. That was thrown by Ryan Stanton. Now we get the arm in the air. Is going to get a penalty in a fight. Schultz and Stanton. Schultz didn't like the hit. Stanton, oh, they're right back in the center circle. Oh, a nice throwing right by Schultz. Ryan Stanton standing in there. Stanton 6'3". Schultz 6'3". It's an even scrap in terms of the size. Stanton threw the hit. Schultz didn't like it. Second fight of the night broken up.
Ryan Stanton delivered a huge hit inside the offensive zone. He might have been sick earlier, but boy, he gets in and gets a good piece of the man he was trying to get after there, Mackenzie Royer. And, you know, good on Schultz, first of all, to step up. Well, it was Schultz standing there. I thought somebody else challenged him first, but, you know, I think this is the thing I really like about Schultz, Dan. He's a guy that can score. He's got good hands for the Calgary Hitmen. He's a guy that's going to maybe get 25 or 30 goals and really stand up for his teammate. Watch what happens on this breakaway, folks. This is Martin Jones with a stick check. Good puck movement. It's going to end up on Bass' stick here. Watch this. When we slow it down, watch the stick. Here comes Jones, and it just poke checks him enough to make that puck jump off the ice, and Bass cannot get it back again. Wow, he's done absolutely everything tonight, Martin Jones has. You can't read that play better than that.
19 saves in the hockey game. 9 here in the period. And the extra penalty, or the initial penalty, I should say, will be on Stanton. So Calgary's going to get a power play out of this. And face off deep in Moose Jaw territory. That would be quite a dagger if Calgary can cash in on this power play, considering all the chances Moose Jaw's had in this period to get back in it.
Well, I'm sure you'll get number 28, Michael Stone, firing from the point. And as long as you got 15 white on the ice, Cozen, there's the first shot. Wow. You know what? That shot of Stone, Dan, it starts out looking like a P and then disappears completely. Right off the face-off, slides along the line and knows that he's got one of the best in the league. And what a nice save by Jeff Bosch.
3 of his 15 goals have come against Moose Jaw this year. Here's another chance for Stone. He passes off. There's Kozin trying to get a shot away. Fisenko now has it. Fisenko gets it back to McKenzie. Gobbling it up there is Kendall McFall. Number 2 for Moose Jaw, trying to keep Calgary from getting possession.
And that's 2 and 8. That's McElrath and McFall, the 2 17-year-olds I was talking about.
Shot from the line. That's turned aside. McFall back to Stone now. Shot wide off the backboards and off the side of the net. That's pretty close call there. As back of the goal, the Hitmen trying to work it in front with Shattuck. Now Fisenko. Pass picked off and sent down the ice. Stone. Kozin. McElrath stays with him. You know, McElrath has only had 6 games this year where he's been a minus hockey player. I mean, that's why he's plus 22. That's why he's out killing penalties. Not that you take a minus on a PK, but only 6 times as a 17-year-old you've ended the game, looked at the stat sheet as a minus.
Unbelievable. He's that good. You know, Tyler Shattuck, we talked about the trade coming over. As you see the other part of that trade, Stebner on the point, but Shattuck at 6'3". You know, I talked about it earlier. He's done a lot of things. Maybe he hasn't scored, but he's been a real factor again tonight, even on the power play. Looks good with Bubnik and Kozin.
Last minute to play in the period. 35 seconds to go in the power play. 2-0 Calgary. Both goals in the first period. Broda back to the blue line area. Stebner to Nyring. Pass misses Broda just behind him. Now he gets possession of the puck. Shot. Score! He's back. Joel Broda, the sniper, and that one went right through Bosch. 3-0 power play goal for Calgary.
I think this is one Bosch would like back, but you got to credit the power play. 2 guys on the forecheck. Del Cowan in deep. Who comes up with the puck? Broda. He's, you know, don't want to say it's a desperation shot. It's a good quick release, and goal scorers will do that. They'll have that ability. But I think Bosch, that's probably one he should have had, and gives Calgary a 3-0 lead.
Here's the announcement.
Assistant number 24, Del Cowan. Time to go 19 minutes and 19 seconds.
So Cowan in on that, and that could be a dagger. I mean, you got a triple whammy going there. Last minute goal, those are always daggers. One that goes through a goalie, a bit of a dagger. A power play goal late after you'd had all those chances if you're Moose Jaw. So as I say, that's the hat trick of whammies.
Yeah, Joel Broda, you know, such a consistent goal scorer. He had a cousin, Mike Broda, former Hitman, and sometimes it's interesting how we get our, you know, these guys all get their starts in hockey. He found a broken stick when he was 4 years old, gave it to his dad, and within 2 months he was enrolled in hockey. Now as a 20-year-old here, I've talked many times about him playing in Hershey before he gets to the Capitals.
So horn sounds ending second period. Moose Jaw had a lot of power plays and a lot of chances, but because of that young man Martin Jones, it's 3-0 Calgary after 2 as we send it back to Dan Elliott.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, coming up in the second intermission, we'll take a closer look at Calgary Hitmen blue liner Michael Stone. Warriors leading scorer Brendan Rowinski will be our ringside guest, plus the Moose Jaw Warriors make a big commitment to the child nutrition program. Moose Jaw will hear all about that, plus of course we'll have highlights and analysis through 40 minutes of play. All that is coming up next, so don't go anywhere. You are watching the WHL on Shaw.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Tuesday, January 26th, when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain High at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
Darren Day, a Victoria real estate agent with over 15 years experience and online at dayteam.com. Darren Day, what a difference a day makes.
With Shaw Video on Demand, it's your choice. There's lots to choose from. New releases, action, comedy, kids shows, and more. With Shaw Video on Demand, you choose the movies or television shows you want to watch, and you choose when the show begins. You can even pause, rewind, or fast forward your program anytime you want. Browse anytime, just by using your Shaw remote. It's that easy.
We're back. Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. The Kamloops, the Calgary Hitmen. I'm looking at the Kamloops Blazers. They're in action against Chilliwack tonight. But it is the Calgary Hitmen that we're showing, taking on the Moose Jaw Warriors. They're leading 3-0 through 2 periods of play. Just 1 goal in that second period coming late, courtesy of Joel Broda, back after missing a couple of games with a concussion. His 22nd goal of the season coming on the power play. Previous goals in the first period from Jimmy Bubnick and Brandon Kozin. Well, time now for tonight's Husky Mohawk player profile. And possessing a rocket shot, Calgary's Michael Stone is considered one of the Dubs' premier offensive defensemen. So far this season, he has 42 points in 47 games. And we learn more about the Winnipeg native from our man in Calgary, Brendan Parker.
Last season, the Calgary Hitmen had one of the most explosive and dynamic defensive corps in the Western Hockey League, with the likes of Paul Postma, Keith Seabrook, Alex Plant, and Michael Stone. But 3 of those guys moved on and turned pro, and only 1 returned. And Michael Stone is showing the world that he, too, is ready to make that leap.
Centering pass, score at the horn!
19-year-old Michael Stone is off to a tremendous start in this, his 4th season with Calgary. After playing alongside some of the league's top defensemen last year, Stone is now a leader on the Hitmen back end and on pace to smash his career-best single-season point total with 70+.
Last year, we had a good top 4 group of guys that were usually pretty good every night, and there wasn't a lot of time for some of these other guys to get it either, but I thought that they are doing a really good job this year, and I think we're stepping up real well. Being the leader of the D, it gives me a lot of confidence anyways. I know that I'm going to be counted on every night to play the way I can every night, and that's a really good feeling as well.
Stone knows how much help his former teammates were in his development and hopes to follow their lead and turn pro next season. And after signing on the dotted line of an NHL contract with Phoenix in early December, the 3rd-round 2008 draft pick is 1 step closer.
It's a really good feeling. It's something that every kid dreams of when they're younger, and that and winning the Stanley Cup. So hopefully 1 of 2. Hopefully we can get the second one.
All right, thanks very much, Brendan. Time now to recognize this week's Boston Pizza Player of the Week, and that is Jesse Isman of the Kootenay Ice of Kindersley, Saskatchewan native, at 4 goals and 7 points, with a +7 in 3 wins for the Ice through January 11th through the 17th. Of course, the Ice were putting their 13-game winning streak on the line. They are one of the hottest teams in the WHL. We'll tell you how they did in a little bit, but right now we have to take another quick break. Lots more to come, including a look at a good fundraiser the Moose Jaw Warriors are getting involved with in their hometown. That's coming up right after this.
Now playing on Shaw Video on Demand.
Hey, Donnie! Guy's German here wants to die for country. Oblige him.
An American Secret Service outfit lives deep behind enemy lines. The Germans call them the bastards. These Yanks have been them the devil.
Well, we're all tickled to hear you say that.
TBC Indoor Kart Racing. www.tbcir.ca.
Shaw TV has been sponsored in part by the Tucson at Crowfoot Hyundai. Crowfoot Hyundai Sales and Servicing, located in the Crowfoot Center Northwest.
Nobody wants to move their back after it's been injured. And we're not saying move a lot. We're just saying the sooner you get back to normal activity, the sooner you'll get better. Even if you have some pain, the best treatment for most back injuries is progressive activity. The sooner you get moving, the sooner you'll feel better.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Tuesday, January 26th, when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain high at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
There you see the Calgary Hitmen leading the Moose Jaw Warriors 3-0 after 2 periods of play. Broda, Kozen, Bubnik have scored for the Hitmen. Martin Jones has made 26 saves through 2 periods. He has been absolutely outstanding, keeping the likes of Brendan Rowinski and the rest of his Warrior teammates in check. Time now to go back to the Saddledome and check in with Brendan Parker, who's standing by with Brendan Rowinski.
Brendan, how frustrating was that second period? So many chances, no goals.
Yeah, it gets pretty frustrating, but we gotta keep our heads in it and just keep trying. You know, we know we're bound to catch some breaks soon, so we just gotta keep going.
You know Martin Jones more than anyone on the Moose Jaw team. What do you do when a goalie gets hot like that, especially him?
Just gotta keep shooting. You know, he's obviously one of the best goalies in the league, and if you want to get anything by him, you gotta keep shooting, drive the net for rebounds, and just start peppering him.
Before we let you go, ask you quickly, what is it like to come back to the Saddledome, no matter what the situation is?
It's always nice to come back. You know, always nice to play your former team. You always want to get these games, and you know, it's fun.
Appreciate this, and good luck that final frame.
Thanks a lot.
Brendan Rowinski, as we dodge some chuck racing here at the Saddledome ice surface. Let's go back to Dan Elliott.
Some tough business there on Western night at the Saddledome, but Brendan Parker, very fleet of foot. He's able to get all the way. At least he didn't get hit by Zamboni this time around, but let's move on. Well, all athletes understand the importance of a good, healthy meal to help them perform at their very best, whether it's in the classroom or for hockey players on the ice. The Moose Jaw Warriors, along with a local company, are doing their part to ensure those who need it get a healthy lunch on a daily basis, making a significant financial commitment over the next 3 years to fund the child nutrition program.
The Moose Jaw Warriors, along with Mosaic Corporation, recently announced a $90,000 commitment to hunger in Moose Jaw. The financial contribution to Mosaic was a decision to give back to the community and support a grassroots program with a big impact.
Hunger in Moose Jaw, who 8 women gather in a kitchen 140 square feet wide each day, and they put out 250 meals to local children. And those are things that we want to be a part of because they change people's lives, they make impact. And one day with this type of support, we'll hope that we can provide enough education, enough awareness to this that we can all alleviate hunger.
The promotion and awareness brought by the Warriors staff and players is another key part of the Growing Tomorrow's Minds initiative.
With the many young fans we have coming to the games and really watching their heroes on the ice, we thought the Hunger in Moose Jaw fit was fantastic. The more the kids go home and talk about it, the parents, that, you know what, my lunch was brought today by Quentin Howden, by Jason Bass, by you name it. It's just going to raise a lot more awareness of something that's just really close to home here with Hunger in Moose Jaw.
One of the Moose Jaw Warriors, Quentin Howden, not only volunteers at Hunger in Moose Jaw, but is also the champion of the program that helps bring nutritious lunches to school children every day.
Never got the chance to do something like this before, so when we went down there, we got our hands dirty and helped out with the lunches. Just thinking about these kids that don't have a chance to eat like this every day. I mean, you can't even imagine what it's like, and so just a chance to be able to help out. I mean, it's a great honor, and I mean, it definitely hits home when you do something like that. So it's hard, but it's good in the end.
The contribution of funds and volunteer effort gives a big boost to the work of Hunger in Moose Jaw at a time when they are feeding record numbers of young people.
Well, today we packed 256 lunches. To have this money assured for the next few years helps so much with planning. It helps so much with sustainability. And to have that coming from our community, directly from our community, and the Warriors and Mosaic doing that and coming up with this partnership and doing this for our kids, it's amazing. It's priceless, truly priceless.
For Shaw TV, I'm Greg Olson in Moose Jaw.
Great cause. 16 other teams in action this evening. The Regina Pats defeating Swift Current in a shootout. 6-5, your final. Jordan Wheel of the shootout winner. How about the Kootenay Ice? Make it 14 straight wins for Kootenay. Matt Fraser with the game-winning goal. He had a hat-trick. Dust Sylvester also had a pair of goals. 5-4 the final in Saskatoon. In Brandon this evening, the Wheat Kings leading Prince Albert 6-2. Third period of play, Scott Glenning bringing Shen each a goal and 2 helpers. Lethbridge up 2-0 on Edmonton. Mark Renners and Graham Hood have scored for the Hurricanes. In Kamloops this evening, Chilliwack leading Kamloops 2-1 after 20 minutes of play. Roman Horak and Kevin Sunder have scored for the Bruins. It's 1-1 in PG between the Rockets and Cougars. The Cougars trying to snap their 7-game losing streak. Big game in Tri-City this evening. 4 power play goals already in this game, 2 for each team. But it's Tri-City leading Vancouver 3-2. Justin Fazer has the go-ahead goal. And early in Portland, Everett trying to make it 11 straight wins. Shane Harper has the goal for the Tips. They lead 1-0. Want to keep track of all the scores, stats, all your favorite players? Just log on to the league website, whl.ca. All right, let's send it back now to Calgary and the Penn Girls Saddledome, where the Calgary Hitmen are leading the Moose Jaw Warriors 3-0 through 40 minutes of play. And rejoin Dan Russell and Bill Wilms.
Well, there's what the Western Hockey League is all about, a family coming out. We see that all through the circuit. Mom, dad, and kids, we presume, here all together, and maybe some cousins and other friends and family. Here in the Saddledome tonight, the home team leading 2-0. And Martin Jones playing his best game since returning from the World Juniors.
Oh, without a doubt. His save percentage, I think, since coming back from Team Canada is about 88%. Well, he's 100% tonight. The saves he's made have been terrific. Moose Jaw with 9 shots on goal. That's it. But I want you to see how many quality scoring chances. We're talking top drawer chances. And this is why the goaltenders today have to cover the bottom part of the net so well. The butterfly position in goaltending, an absolute must. You've got to be able to get post to post. You've got to be able to make these saves. This is a 2-man advantage. Another terrific job of getting over to this other side. And then finally, when Frazee gets an opportunity, the post saves Martin Jones and keeps it at that 2-0 score. Dan, late in the period, oh, this is what we want to talk about, a great poke check. Watch the save that he makes here when he gets the stick out, deflects that puck that Bass never does get back again. Great play. Last minute, you just don't want to give up a goal. And that's exactly what happens. It's a power play. Broda's not the guy you want to get that puck to. 2 men on the forecheck. Kevin Smith is overpowered. The puck comes to Cowan. He takes it into the face-off circle and snaps it past the goaltender. You know, for Cowan, his 22nd, or pardon me, for Broda, his 22nd of the season, and it's a 3-0 lead.
Kozin, Shattuck, Broda, Bubnik, top 4 point getters on Calgary all in the scoring tonight. Stay tuned, third period action coming up.
Discovery Honda. Honda service with factory. Discovery Honda on the Island Highway just north of Duncan.
Championship Curling is live on Shaw. Catch the final of the 2010 Boston Pizza Cup live from Olds, Alberta. Tune in Sunday, February 7th at 2 p.m. Mountain to see the men battle it out for the provincial curling crown.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort. And you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. Don't miss the excitement when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain High at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. Tune in Tuesday, January 26th, 7 Mountain, 8 Central for great junior hockey action. The Western Hockey League, building the world's finest talent. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
The Western Hockey League would like to take this time to recognize its prestige partners. Cal Tire, a proud supporter of amateur athletes throughout Western Canada. Cal Tire, true service. And your local Husky and Mohawk retailer, home of Mother Nature's fuel. Naturally, it's Husky.
Welcome back to the WHL on Shaw. And if you ever wanted to know what Bill Wilms looked like when he grew up in Winkler, Manitoba a few years back,
there he is.
That's it. That's a nice hat you had before you put on the hockey helmet all those years later.
And there's Dan, 10 years from now?
I don't know. Western Night here. Some of the lids are incredible here in the Saddle Dome. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms, Brendan Parker here as well. Executive producer of the WHL on Shaw is Russ Greaves. Our game producer, Dave Roberts. Breanne Jefferson is our director. All of us at Shaw, thank you for tuning us in tonight. We will be in Kootenay on Tuesday night. And speaking of the Kootenay Ice, they did defeat the Saskatoon Blades, and Dave Roberts has updated the standings. And look at Kootenay. They're the current #2 team in the Eastern Conference.
Todd Matthews, 44 saves on 48 Saskatoon shots. And Dustin Sylvester with a pair, and what a leader Dustin Sylvester has been for that hockey club. Dustin Sylvester is the only 20-year-old by my count in the top 10 scorers of the Western Hockey League. We'll see them all on Tuesday.
We're seeing Cody Sylvester in this game for the Calgary Hitmen. And as we start this third period, the teams are at full strength. Calgary on the puck, throwing it right in front for Broda, and he taps that one wide. So he almost gets a first-minute goal to go alongside that last-minute goal in the second period. Calgary 20-0-1 this year when taking a lead to the third period. Moose Jaw 4-10-2 and trailing after 2. Look at Broda's work as he throws it in front of the net. Bubnik couldn't get a stick on it, and here comes Moose Jaw out of their own zone. Trying to get a shot from the far side, but Jones is making those saves for sure all night long.
Just talked about the scoring leaders of the Western Hockey League. This is what they look like. Coach Williamson not happy with his team's maybe start at that period. Cozen, Everly, Cunningham still leading that. There's Sylvester with the points that he's got. And that wonderful player from Swift Current, Cody Eakin, the year that he's having.
Connaughton first, but he played 9 more games than Cozen, and Cozen's played 7 more games than Everly.
You mean Cunningham?
I mean Cunningham, yes. The games played is always a factor in that because of the World Juniors. There's a centering pass. On that is Jeff Bosch, and he holds on.
You know, speaking of goaltenders and Jeff Bosch, I mean, he's had shown that he can really bounce back. He had an 8-7 overtime loss to Prince Albert earlier. He gave up 8 goals against. His very next game out, 2-0 shutout over none other than the Brandon Wheat Kings. So Jeff Bosch certainly has got the ability to bounce back, and that's one of the great attributes you have to have as a goaltender.
And if you're just tuning us in now, Moose Jaw has not lost a hockey game in 10. 8-0-2 in their last 10. They have not lost in this calendar year. And it's interesting because before they went on this streak, they had only 1 win in their previous 11. I mean, they completely turned it around.
You know, 5 of those last 10 games were against the Prince Albert Raiders, and they won them all. Seems to certainly have their number. I think 2 of their wins were against Brandon as well. No, this Moose Jaw team's for real. There's no question. Missed the playoffs in 08-09 last year. Lost in round 1 the year before. Missed 3 years ago, and the year before that they won the, the Western Hockey League, or lost the Hockey League final to Vancouver. They've been in the postseason 9 years in a row before that. Yeah.
But they were dead last year in the conference.
Well, they went with youth.
19 wins, and now they are at 25. So they surpassed that by quite some margin here as McElrath on the line. A hard shot through traffic, didn't find the net. Dumped back into the corner, giving chase over there is Frazee. Wraparound attempt. Jones is there once more. Here's Bass shooting. That stopped before it got to the net. McElrath trying to get it back to Bass. And out is Beach, flipping it up high. McElrath gets it down here in the center ice area. Bass shoots it in quickly, and Moose Jaw is going to make a change. 2:40 gone here in the third. Here's Broda. Broda, Rashad scores! Two tonight for Broda. Both of them Bosch is going to want back, but it's 4-0 Calgary.
Well, I'll tell you, this had some mustard on it. This is a goal scorer, folks. He's handling the puck back and forth. There's the stick handle, and in between all that, boom, there's the shot. You got Bosch moving over too far to his left. He's giving up the post, but I don't care. There's not a lot of goaltenders, Dan, or scorers rather, that will get that kind of release coming off that wing. Joel Broda scores them in bunches, and he may have got a slow start this year coming back from Washington, but he is on a roll now.
Number 26, Joel Broda. Assistant number 17, Giffen Nyren. Time to goal, 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
And here comes Cowan now, shooting it up high. 4-0 Calgary. And Broda, who, as I say, returned to the lineup. He took a hit in a Saskatoon game by the hit by Sam Klassen in open ice. And so he's been out of the lineup since that hit.
10 days ago, you're right. But apparently he went through a real strenuous workout. I guess it was yesterday, including some off-ice visitations the team did, and he felt pretty good about it all. He was ready to go.
And then some. 2 goals here tonight as that puck is knocked down with a high stick.
You know, and Broda scored in the last minute of the second period, now in the first 3 minutes of the third. And take a look at where the goaltender is on that shot. Pretty deep in the net. Not sure there was a cross-ice pass available, and, you know, Broda made him pay for it.
Like you say, he's a good sniper, but
oh, you bet.
Goalie's going to want to make that save most nights.
Absolutely. You just can't get beat on that shot.
McElrath going down low, throws it right through the goal mouth area. Unable to get a stick on it was Cody Smuck, and back the other way comes Calgary. Looks like they might be offside, although that puck never did get in over the line. They blew it down anyway, offside.
Sometimes a shot will fool you as a goaltender simply because you're not prepared to commit to the save you want to make. You've got to commit to the type of positioning you want your body in to make the save. And if you're just caught in between, whether to drop down in the butterfly and catch it with your glove, you know, or to just make the commitment to stand up and catch it, you get caught in between, and, you know, that is a tough situation to be in.
And so it's now 4-0. Moose Jaw in the previous 3 meetings against Calgary picked up 5 of a possible 6 points. Be hard pressed to get anything out of this one tonight. Schultz couldn't get the puck in deep. Kozin now has it. He'll flip it in deep. Smith gets the puck up for McElrath, who shoots it into the Calgary zone, and just watching McElrath as he heads to the bench on a line change. Puck tipped in deep. Getting the puck for Moose Jaw is Dallas Earhart. And then a penalty coming up there as you saw Broda going in, and a high stick came up, and Moose Jaw will be shorthanded.
It is a high sticking penalty. We'll see if we can pick it up. That's Earhart, the 17-year-old 6'4" player. Well, you see how he gets a stick up in defensive himself. He knows he's going to take a hit. But Dallas Earhart, Dan, only in 12 games played with Brandon. He was the only player involved in the blockbuster deal that sent Travis Hamonic to Brandon. There were 3 draft picks on that play.
Rebound and a goal, and it's a hat trick for Joel Broda. 5-0 Calgary, and have they made Moose Jaw pay on the man advantage? They're 3 for 4 tonight, but there's a hat trick for Joel Broda.
Boy, all good goal scorers have their favorite positions to get in to shoot pucks. And that's one of them right there for Broda. Corrals it perfectly. That was a bouncing puck that he made sure that laid flat for him. You know, the big shooter from the point creates that rebound. That was Stone.
Hey, Bill, it's Western night here. All these Calgary cowboy hats. Can anybody throw one of them on the ice?
Yeah, come on, guys. What do they pay for those things? Probably way too much money.
No, but not only a hat trick, it's a natural hat trick, resulting in a goaltending change as Brandon Glover comes in, and here's the announcement.
His 3rd of the night, 24th of the year, scored by number 26, Joel Broda. Assistant number 28, Michael Stone. And to number 29, Tyler Shattuck. Time to go 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Broda, power play goal.
Not a cowboy hat to be found.
No.
They're holding on to them like they're gold.
They're glued on.
Some of them don't look as good as they think they do. Some of them are really nice looking.
I mean, some they should get rid
But
of.
a couple of them, that was a good excuse to get rid of them. What does he have to do for one of those lousy ones to get on the ice? The good ones hold on to.
Maybe they just take it for granted in this building that you know, Broda can score 3 at any time. Probably not, certainly not the first hat trick he's had.
No, I was just about to look that up. 5-0 Calgary. Frazee turned aside by Jones. He's faced 21 on the night. Now another chance down low and another save by Jones. That's been a theme throughout the evening. And I don't care how many Broda scores. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I still think the first star should be Jones.
Well, it has to be. I think he certainly kept him in at the time when it was most important to keep him in, and I think that was one of the reasons, I think, Dan, why the Hitmen were able to get momentum back. They lost it for a bit, and I think Jones was a big factor to get it back. And, you know, we talked about the opposing goalie being the #1 star in the 6 losses for the Hitmen. Well, it isn't going to be the case tonight. Obviously, Jeff Bosch on the bench, and Brandon Glover, BC Major Midget Hockey League Goalie of the Year with the South Island T-Birds, is in the net for the Moose Jaw Warriors. He started the last game this team played versus Edmonton, had that 5-3 win.
Certainly the first hat trick of the year for Broda, but you know, over the years he's had them.
Well, I think people in this building have thrown hats on the ice before and said, well, if it's Broda, I'm not too sure I want to give up another one.
I see.
Comes to be expected. You know, the Hitmen done a real good job. I talked about it earlier. I think getting control back when they lost it a few times, and now they're on cruise.
And then some. Puck goes out of play over the bench, down low, somewhere down there, right beside the bench is Brendan.
That's right. The puck almost came over, but this time I avoided it. Guys, we're just talking about Mike Williamson before the game, and that 7-goal outburst on Tuesday night. We're talking about how much of a relief it was for this hockey team. He said the goal scoring seemed to dry up right after Christmas, a little bit of inconsistency, but they're really looking forward to this next week of practice. They get 4 days off. Brandon Kozin and Martin Jones will get a little time to recuperate, and he hopes they come back better than ever. This team is really looking forward to a week of hard work and practice, and this will make that break a little nicer to enjoy.
And one of the big factors this week is the return of the power play. They're 3 for 4 tonight. They were 2 for 5 against Lethbridge. In their previous 12 games, they were 7 for 63 and only operating at 11%. So the power play has been found again by the Hitmen, and it's leading them to 2 back-to-back wins here, it appears.
Yeah, they're in the 3rd game. The Hitmen are of a 6-game homestand. After tonight, they face Lethbridge, Brandon, and Tri-City in this building before the Hitmen go on the road to Swift Current. So,
tripping minor on Calgary. Going to the penalty box is Tyler Shattuck. And yet another power play opportunity, the 6th for Moose Jaw as you look at the trip there in the neutral zone.
You know, Tyler Shattuck had a huge smile on his face when he found that he got traded to this team here in Calgary. He took it a lot better than his family. His family lived in Salmon Arm, and they're only an hour away from Kamloops, so they got to see Tyler play a lot of hockey, but Shattuck very, very happy to be here.
And as much as the power play has been a story tonight, the penalty kill just as much for Calgary. This is the 3rd best power play coming in, and they're 0 for 5. Now, most of the time you hear the best penalty killer has to be the goalie, and that has been the case here. We'll see if Moose Jaw can get on the board. Meantime, we got one of their players getting up slowly as the puck goes all the way down the ice. I believe that's Rowinski. Yes, he goes to the bench. He looks fine, though, as he gets to the Moose Jaw bench. Flipped in by the Warriors. Peter Kosterman, number 7. First time we're calling his name tonight. Probably means it's his first shift.
Yeah, he's their first-round Bantam pick of 08. He's one of the few 16-year-olds in the lineup. In fact, the only 16-year-old in the lineup tonight for the Hitmen.
Played for the Calgary Buffaloes last year as that puck goes out of play.
Well, Joel Broda's done it all. He basically took control of this game when it was 2-0 late in the 2nd period. Came out of the corner on a power play. They're all shots, folks. You saw the first one, a snapshot, his 22nd shot there, and one more quick release. Broda's 22nd, 23rd, and 24th have made it a 5-0 Calgary Hitmen lead.
And it comes against his former team where he played 109 games. And then he went to Tri-Cities and played 126 games for the Tri-City Americans.
Yeah, he was a former first-round Bantam pick for the Tri-City Americans. Joel Broda was.
So from Tri to Moose Jaw.
You know, at that time, they wanted to really change the culture of the Moose Jaw dressing room, and they said Joel Broda was the guy they wanted to get.
Nothing doing on this power play for Moose Jaw. Cozen shorthanded, lead pass going in is Schultz, and he puts it high.
Well, one thing, Dan, if you are playing with Cozen and he's got the puck, as you're going to see here, one thing you want to do is get going, and that's what Schultz does. The shot, Glover far enough out that if he's getting a piece of that, it's going to be deflected.
By the way, it's Glover's birthday tomorrow. He gets a chance to be in here as the relief pitcher, if you will, coming in after the 5th goal. Calgary Hitmen win the faceoff. Back at full strength. Halfway through the period. Long shot by Nyren. Glover makes the save. Rebound goes to the corner. Beach has it. Back it comes to Nyren. Shot wide. Off the backboards. Gobbled up there momentarily, at least, by Royer. Moose Jaw on it out to the neutral zone. Have a chance to put it in deep. Danny Gale can't get a stick on it, but here's an opportunity and a chance for McMaster, and another save by Jones. Make that 22 saves on 22 shots for Martin Jones.
Even though the save's not nearly as important at this time in this contest, nonetheless, he's still awfully sharp, isn't he?
He is, and his team obviously trying to protect the shutout. I mean, he's got only 3 shots against here in the 3rd period. Kosterman over to McKenzie. Puck going in deep. Chad Sewer plays it back of the net for Ryan Stanton. Out to the neutral zone. Brought in over the line by Cody Smuck. back of the net.
Yeah, and the Hitmen are doing a great job of collapsing together on the puck, the guy with the puck. They're taking every time and space away from him.
There's a shot that's blocked. That hurts. Hurt Calgary Hitman as it rolls to Jones. He has the presence of mind to hold on to it with this hurt player. As we go to break, it's 5-0. Calgary leading Moose Jaw. It's a WHL on Shaw.
Waste management landfills provide more than 17,000 acres of protected land for wildlife habitat. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think waste management.
Darren Day, a Victoria real estate agent with over 15 years experience and online at dayteam.com. Darren Day, what a difference a day makes.
Five nothing Calgary Hitmen. You know, Jimmy Bubnick got that monkey off his back early in that first period. Hung around in that spot till he got his 18th. Kozin on a power play made it 2-0. And, you know, I think that was really all that, this team needed, because Broda went to work after that. It's been the Broda show with 3 straight after they made it 2-0. I think this team got a lot of fire tonight, Dan, the Hitmen did. When they saw Bubnick open the scoring, it said, and a great play by Shattuck, I might add. It kind of got their monkeys off their backs. And, Kozin, the guy you expect to go to work on a power play, and Broda, really, and Jones, those are key guys tonight.
Kozin, by the way, now is within 4 points of Ryan White for number 5 on the all-time Hitman scoring parade. He's already number 4 in assists with 152 in his career. Lots of records falling for Brandon Kozin. 8:15 to go in the third period. Hood flips the puck out for Moose Jaw. Ben Wilson back to get it. Oh, he took quite a hit. Oh, he's down and hurt. And he's back up, thankfully, but at first he looked more hurt.
Oh, he's not out of the woods yet.
Now onto his skates. He is making his way back unassisted back to his bench, and you can see the result as Ben Wilson, first-year player who played for the Olds Grizzlies last year, really rocked in the corner there.
Yeah, I think it was Hood on the forecheck. Watch number 19. Oh, no, over on the far left, it is Dylan Hood come in. Ben Wilson's up. Can't quite figure it out. Is there a penalty on that play? There has to be, doesn't there?
There was initially, yes. And there'll be more after, I'm sure. As you see the result of the hit. I'm sure we'll get roughing out of there and probably boarding on the first one. And whether they call it 2 or 5, I don't know, but that's what the referees are discussing as we speak.
Yeah, Dylan Hood, remember with the Kelowna Rockets, 37 games played with Kelowna, tremendous forechecker. I don't know if that expression on the face of Ben Wilson is one trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
No, but at this point, I like that he popped up.
Oh, yeah.
A bit. At first, when you saw that expression you just talked about, I'm thinking, whoa, that might be something serious, yeah. And there is a 5-minute major going on the board. Penalized player Hood, Dylan Hood, 19-year-old from Osoyoos. As you see him exit the Saddledome playing surface for the night. And another power play for Calgary. And we mentioned they have 3 power play goals tonight. They have 7 out of 18 chances in the season series. So they have feasted on Moose Jaw this season on the power play. Down to Brendan.
Thanks, Dan. Well, Hitmen fans should mark February 7th on their calendar. It's the Hitmen Skate-a-thon. Just a minimum of $20 pledge to breast cancer, the Breast Cancer Foundation. You get to skate with the Hitmen. You even get a ticket to the March 7th breast cancer game, where they'll be wearing this jersey here, a real nice one. They'll even sport some pink sticks. It'll be a good hockey game on March 7th, all for the price of $20. You can get a little action in the WHL.
Let's pick up the announcement on the penalty.
Coming penalties, 11 minutes, 55 seconds. Hood, 5 minutes for checking from behind, and a game misconduct at 11:55.
All right, so there's the call. We'll write that down in Calgary on the power play. I would say when you're on a 5-minute power play with a 5-0 lead with 7 minutes to go in your own building, that's as close to ITV as you can get in the bag. It's just a matter of how it's going to end as far as the final score is concerned.
And there's 4 former Kamloops Blazers on the ice. There's Nyren, Stebner on the point. There's Bubnik, Shattuck up front. Joel Broda has joined them.
Shattuck got it to Nyren. Nyren straddling this blue line here as he dumps it to the corner. McFall trying to get it. Broda against the wall. Held in nicely. Bubnik to Broda. Broda's sharp angle shot. That stops Shattuck in front. And Broda had to go right through his skates. Well, we know he's had hat tricks before, as Broda had a 4-goal night.
I don't know.
And will they throw a hat?
Be honest with you.
Would they throw a hat on the ice then?
No.
Okay. So the hats are staying where they are. I want to see him score one just to see if the hat would fly.
No, again, I'm impressed with the penalty kill, certainly of the Moose Jaw Warriors. They're a young team. You know, Dave Hunchik's not going to let him, you know, take anything for granted. They're going to work right to the end. This is something you got to go through. It's not a lot of fun being a coach some nights, but it is addictive. It's like a drug. You got to have it. Even though you might be miserable coaching, you realize you're more miserable when you're not coaching. It's kind of a vicious cycle. Even though you're now 5-0, you know there's still very, very teachable moments out there.
Absolutely.
Especially with a young team.
And another game tomorrow as they'll wake up and then prepare for the Red Deer Rebels. Hitmen out of their own zone with 3.5 to go in their power play. 6.5 in the game. 30 shots for Calgary. 22 for Moose Jaw. Turning point of the game was early stages of the second period when Moose Jaw had a lot of chances on the power play but couldn't beat Jones. Here's Kozik trying to get to Fisenko underneath the Moose Jaw player. Referee says play it, so they do. Schultz holding it. Schultz to Fisenko. Fisenko to Kozin. Kozin to McKenzie. Here's Kozin again with some room. A shot misses the far corner, and when you shoot from there and you miss going the far side, it always goes down the ice.
With no help at all. It just heads all the way on its own. Still 2.5 minutes in this 5-minute major for the penalty power play for the Hitmen.
Sylvester tries to pass into the slot area. Fiddler with it. Cowan checked by McFall. Kendall McFall couldn't get it out. Hitman from the blue line. High shot. That was taken by Stebner. Nyren holds it in. Warriors force it out. Stebner shoots it back in again. McFall goes back. Goaltender hands it away. Goes back to Stebner. Shot tips off the target. Sylvester got his stick on that. There's a long lead pass. Howden trying to get free all by himself. Still minute 35 left in the major penalty that sent Hood to the dressing room as Broda goes wide. Another chance for Broda on the power play. Bubnik through the goal mouth area. Stone pinching and dumping it behind the net. Bubnik can't make it go back in front of the goal in the first try, and then back to the point it went. Shattuck couldn't hold it in. Minute to go in the, well, minute 4, I should say, in the power play as we go back to Brendan.
Well, guys, the next game on the WHL on Shaw comes your way on Tuesday night as the Crew heads down to Cranbrook with the Ice and the Wheat Kings. Kootenay, of course, winning another one tonight. They're not a single regulation loss in the last 15 games, closing in on the Wheat Kings, so a big Eastern Conference matchup on Tuesday.
Bill, we've talked about Kootenay quite a bit. What about Brandon hosting the Memorial Cup? Have you been impressed with them this year?
They've been too in and out for me, to be honest with you. You know, obviously Hamanek's going to make a big difference to that hockey club as a defense, but they lose games I don't think they should lose.
Right now sitting in the third spot. They have as many wins as Calgary with 30. Delayed penalty. Goalie out for the extra attacker. Shattuck, or Schultz rather, I should say. Down to Stone. Back to Nyren, to Schultz. In other situations, they might just give up the puck so they could have the long 5-on-3. They take the 6-on-4 for a while. Now it'll be a 5-on-3 with that slashing penalty. And Moose Jaw getting another one.
It is a slash. There's, you see the signal. It's Kozin. No, it's not Kozin going to the box. It's Gale. Yeah. What a nice job Gale has done for this hockey club. Danny Gale, he's the guy that commits to slash, but he's in the box for 2 minutes. But he was up for a 3-game audition, passed with flying colors. 6 points in the 8 games played.
Here's Stone, including 3 goals. Stone winding up. Down low it goes. Centering pass. Doesn't get there. Beach trying to get it. Beach getting power play time with some other youngsters. The 5-on-3. Beach back it goes. Royer shot wide. Beach gobbles it up. First penalty over. And now Calgary, as we have it, going to their 6th power play. 3 for 5 with the man advantage. Flipped in. Goaltender handling it. Glover, who came in to replace the starter Bosch after the 5-0 goal.
Well, Dan, you don't want to run up to score, I'm sure, if you're the Hitmen coach. But with a minute left in a power play, at this point, you want to be serious. Say, look, guys, we got to get one on this. Let's see how well the Hitmen execute the power play that's got 55 seconds left in it.
There's Beach on the far wall. Lysenko, maybe a give and go. Back for Beach, couldn't handle it cleanly. Beach hustles to get the puck back to the line. Stebner's shot through the traffic, wide of the net. Warriors get it down the ice. 2 minutes to go, third period. Calgary has been in complete control since the last minute of the second period. That was 2-0 till then. And we knew it was a dagger, and we called it a triple dagger at the time. And it's been just that.
Well, I think they played the way a poised, good 30-win hockey team has played. They got help from Martin Jones early. Did a real good job for him. And then it just hit an offense, go to work.
Centering pass there, intercepted by Ryan Stanton. Moose Jaw back at full strength. Gale out of the box. Gale in over the line, heading to the front of the net for the pass, and Jones had to make a good save. Right at the very end, Rowinski was going to the net, hit something on the way, changed directions, and Jones, going one way, had to come back to make the save. Just over a minute remaining in the third period. Calgary get it to the line and out, back in offside. And we'll look at this save once more.
This is nothing but 100% focus. Watch where the puck goes and watch Jones focus. It's 5-zip. He knows where it is, and that's one of the big things. There, it hits the Hitman stick. I think it hits Stone's stick, and it redirects a nice change of direction, and no way that puck is going to beat Jones on that one.
Warriors hold the puck in. Now here comes Broda. 42 seconds to go. Broda shot. That goes out of play. Now at the start of this period, we showed you Eastern Conference standings with Kootenay winning, Calgary winning tonight now, and they're right back in second.
I think it'll be a race right to the end. And, take a look at 7, 8, and 9. that's where it really gets interesting. The cutoff at 8th, Red Deer 52 points. Look at Swift Current at 50. And then you got to get into that top 4 to get a home ice advantage. So, you know, it really is a heck of a year, actually, in both conferences.
30 seconds to go as Smith flips the puck back into the Calgary zone. McKenzie, last game was the top prospects game. Now he gets the puck out to the neutral zone. Cornelson had it. Going back is Earhart. 15 seconds to go. One more rush up the ice, possibly for Moose Jaw. Let's see how they do. Broken up at the line. 5 seconds. Kept to the outside. And Martin Jones will have his third shutout of the season. His 11th of his career in the regular season. Add 2 more to the playoffs. He had 7 last year, by the way. Jones, a 23 save performance. Joel Broda, a hat trick. Calgary 5, Moose Jaw nothing. This is the WHL on Shaw.
The 2010 Canadian Direct Insurance BC Men's Curling Championship is live on Shaw. Catch the semi-final live from Vernon. Tune in Saturday, February 6th at 7 p.m. Pacific to see the best of BC battle it out for a spot in the final.
The gutter filter system from Sun Valley Window Cleaners. It seals out all types of debris, including leaves, pine needles, and seed pods. Invisible from the ground and no maintenance required. Water pours through it while everything else blows over the top. For more information, go to sunvalleywindowcleaners.com.
TBC Indoor Kart Racing. www.tbcir.ca.
The EX35 is available at Hyatt Infinity in the Calgary Auto Mall.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Tuesday, January 26th, when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain high at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
Back inside the Saddle Dome after the Calgary Hitmen win back-to-back games for the first time since mid-December. You know, Bill, they lose players to the World Junior, then they come back from World Junior, and it always takes a little bit. The trade deadline was in there to work in new players. I'm not trying to make excuses for Calgary, but being in the funk that they've been in kind of could be predicted with all the sort of changing going on within the team.
Yeah, you see Jimmy Bubnick come out with that hat on, throw it to the crowd. Yeah, exactly. It's going to take a little bit to settle this team down. But what I saw tonight in the Calgary Hitmen team was really 4 things. Top drawer goaltending to hold them in when the game was still close. Explosive scoring. When you've got a Broda, Kozin, you can go down that line. They can get goals in a hurry. A power play that erupted for 3 goals, and they were perfect on the penalty kill against a good Moose Jaw team. So the ingredients are starting to come together. Hey, that's a good Moose Jaw team down that plays again in Red Deer on this road trip. They can get right back on the horse and get it done. I was impressed by them early.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But staying with Calgary, I mean, you get goaltending like that. I mean, Jones from the World Junior, I mean, you think about playoffs, you think about that kind of goaltending that he could give them, and then the makings of 2 or 3 pretty good lines, pretty good defense. I like Calgary.
I do. That, you know, they've been spotty. We talked about that early. They've had situations this year where it's driven Coach Williamson nuts, but you addressed that exactly right. You got the disruptions that have happened. And maybe this is just a perfect time for them to come together. 5 goals tonight, 7 goals the other night. The Hitmen will always be known, or should always be known, as an explosive team that can score. You know, they haven't got the greatest defense. They haven't got what they had last year. And Jones is going to bail them out, and he did tonight.
Well, he was the second star in the building, but the first star on Shaw. Martin Jones standing by with Brendan Parker.
That's right, Martin. First star on Shaw, I guess. Tell me about this hockey game tonight. What really stood out to you that was the difference here?
Well, you know what? We've been making a lot of strides forward in the last couple games, but you know, we haven't had good starts, and that's really hurt us. You can't put yourself behind the 8 ball and down a couple goals early, because teams are too good, and it's just too hard to come back. So I think the main thing tonight was we worked hard for 60 minutes, and we got a good result.
As we take a look at some of the highlights from this game, the second period seemed to be a busy one for your squad, especially yourself in net.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we did play hard the whole game, but we got in a little bit of penalty trouble in the second. So, you know, those are big times in the game, and it was good we got a few kills there.
A couple of aerobatic saves. Tell me about that one with the swinging the leg and the arm around there.
Yeah, that was, I think it was a point shot, and ricocheted out the other side. So, you know what, just trying to get across, a bit of a desperation save, trying to do whatever I can, trying to get a body part in front of the puck.
Do you feel that this team's starting to build some momentum right now?
Yeah, you know what, we faced a little adversity in the last little while, and I think that's going to make us stronger. And you know what, we have taken strides forward, and we're starting to get the results we want now. So definitely we're taking some strides forward here.
Appreciate this, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Martin Jones, the second star. Dan Russell gave him the first here in the building, but we'll go back to Dan Elliott, and he'll give us the rest.
All right, thank you very much, Brendan. Yeah, it was Joel Broda in the building, was your first star. He, after missing 3 games with a concussion, picked up his first hat-trick of the season. Martin Jones, 23 saves, his 3rd shutout of the year, your second star, and Jimmy Bubnick scoring his first goal as a member of the Calgary Hitmen rounds out your 3 stars. Remember, for great meal ideas and ingredients, just add Sobeys. All right, we've got to take one more break here, but back to wrap things up for our game, as well as take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard one more time.
Championship Curling is live on Shaw. Catch the final of the 2010 Boston Pizza Cup live from Olds, Alberta. Tune in Sunday, February 7th at 2 p.m. Mountain to see the men battle it out for the provincial curling crown.
Postnet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. Postnet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
We're not saying don't bend your back, just bend correctly. 25% of all work injuries are back-related. So keep fit, maintain flexibility, and bend your knees when picking up even the smallest object. Even if you have some pain, the best treatment for most back injuries is progressive activity. The sooner you get moving, the sooner you'll feel better.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Tuesday, January 26th, when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain high at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
9 games in total on this Friday evening in the WHL. The Regina Pats trying to get back into the playoff picture. Big win tonight, 6-5 shootout victory over Swift Current. Matt Struby had 3 helpers in the win. Jordan Wheel had your shootout winner. How about the Kootenay Ice? They picked up their 14th straight win. Matt Fraser had a hat-trick, including the game-winning goal. Todd Matthews, outstanding in net, making 44 saves. In Brandon tonight, the Prince Albert Raiders, of course, without their goaltender Garrett Zamlak, out for an indefinite period of time with a head injury after being hit by Shane Weeb last time these two teams played on Wednesday. The Wheat Kings winning 6-2. Lewandowski with 2 goals. Tony Raella had 3 helpers in the win for the Wheaties. Lethbridge a 4-1 winner over the Edmonton Oil Kings. Brays, Hood, and Berglund each with a goal and 2 helpers for the Canes. In Kamloops tonight, just 1 point separates the Bruins and Blazers in the standings, tied at 2 in the second period. Horick and Sunder have scored for the Bruins, Stretch and Bortnak for the Blazers. The Rockets lead Prince George 2-1. That game also in the second. Callahan and Barrie have scored for Kelowna. Macon for the Prince George Cougars. Tri-City leading Vancouver 4-2. Battle the top 2 teams in the Western Conference. Fazer has the go-ahead goal, and Johnny Lazo has just added a 4th goal for the Americans. It's 1-1 after 1 period of play between Everett and Portland. Of course, the Silvertips have won 10 straight. Shane Harper is 30th of the year. Chris Francis is 20th of the season for the Hawks. In our game tonight was the Calgary Hitmen, picking up their 31st victory of the season, remained second in the Eastern Conference, defeating Moose Jaw 5-0 was your final. Martin Jones making 23 saves for his 3rd shutout of the season. Joel Broda picking up the hat trick. Jimmy Bubnick, Brandon Kozin also chipping in with goals as Calgary scored 3 power play goals. The first regulation loss for the Moose Jaw Warriors since December 19th.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. Don't miss the excitement when the Memorial Cup host Brandon Wheat Kings look to avoid a Rocky Mountain high at the hands of the Kootenay Ice. Tune in Tuesday, January 26th, 7 Mountain, 8 Central for great junior hockey action. The Western Hockey League, building the world's finest talent. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
Well, it was a dominating performance for the Calgary Hitmen tonight. Next up on the WHL on Shaw, the Brandon Wheat Kings pay a visit to Cranbrook to take on the hottest team in the league, the Kootenay Ice. Game time is Tuesday, January 26th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. As for tonight, Calgary, with the goaltending of Martin Jones, defeat the Moose Jaw Warriors 5-0. Joel Broda 3 goals. Jimmy Bubnick, Brandon Kozin also picking up goals as Martin Jones made 23 saves for his 3rd shutout of the season, handing the Moose Jaw Warriors their first loss in regulation since December 19th. 31st victory of the season for Calgary to remain second in the East. For Dan Russell, Bill Williams, Brendan Parker, Joey Kenwer, and our entire crew both in Calgary and here in Vancouver, I'm Dan Elliott. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday for another edition of the WHL on Shaw.
Gentlemen, I will endeavor to describe the feeling on this ship.
The American ship is just trailing the Blue Nose.
Angus should never have agreed to this last race. She's too old.
Eddie!